Okay, I believe we are live. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the Cobwebs channel's live stream for the month of July. Just barely July, but it is still July. So I have quite a bit of like a haul to show off in this video, like a lot of stuff that I've got. But the first item in the haul is this new webcam. I've got a new webcam to do live streams with. I have like a fairly nice like Canon camera that I use to actually do my videos. But I can't seem to use that for live streams. So I went ahead and got a nicer webcam. I like it. Let me know what you guys think. I've been fiddling around with the settings like crazy in the minutes leading up to this to check if, how I like it to look. But I really like it. Let me know what you think. Thank you all so much for being here. But the point of this live stream is so I have I've got a lot of physical media right now, and I haven't been collecting stuff as much much lately. But I've collected quite a bit, including I put in a big order with the last Vinegar Syndrome sale. So I've got that to unbox. One of my subscribers sent me a box of some Blu-rays, so I've got that. I have a used DVD haul because I went like DVD shopping secondhand recently, which was really fun. So I'm going to show you guys all that, and then we're just going to do like an Ask Me Anything, so you can ask me questions. We could talk about what you want to talk about. There's a lot going on in the world of horror right now that we can discuss, so I think that'll be fun. But first of all, let me know if you're here. Just pop into the chat, say hi, and we'll chat. First of all, I just want to highlight Jay Fletcher, who said, nice camera picture, looks good. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a new webcam, and I am enjoying it. All right, let's see who we got. We got William Cinema. Hello. Thomas Rockman. What's new with you? Oh, I'm doing a live stream. That's pretty new, so that's fun. I can't coincide my Patreon membership fee with my actual payday the first of the month. The only way I think to know that would be like to cancel your subscription for a bit and then like re-up on the first, and then that will be like your new first day, I think. But you should probably check with Patreon to be sure. But that makes sense to me. Thank you for being a patron, though. I certainly appreciate that. Woohoo, this will be fun. I agree. I'm very excited. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here, Corbin. Let's see. Bear Pletcher. Hey, buddy, have you ever seen The House That Jack Built? It's a very dark serial killer movie starring Matt Dillon. The ending is very strange. This, so far, actually, I realized these messages were put in hours ago. So some people hopped in like to the pre thing and already put their questions in. And that's smart, especially if you can't be here. That's smart. I've actually never seen The House That Jack Built. That's, it's on my list of like movies I want to see, but I've been putting off. And I almost wanted to see because I almost wanted to say because like I thought it'd be like too disturbing, but I don't think so. That was the case at first. When it first came out, I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a little too much. By now, I've kind of worked my way up that I think that would be fine. I think it's the fact that it's 2.5 hours long. And I've heard it's like really pretentious. So I don't know. Like, I'm always like, oh, is this the night that I want to go through The House of Jack Built? I do want to see it though. I have a video that I want to do. I think it's a good idea for a video. It would be like watching the scariest movies I've never seen. And I would pick out like the movies that have the most frightening reputation that I've never actually watched and watch them all and review them all in a video. I think that would be a good video. It would just require me to binge through a lot of movies that I've not wanted to watch. That sounds tough. But that would be one of them. Grill, good night from rainy Montreal, Daniel. I'm kind of jealous that you got rain. Well, we had like a lot of rain recently, but now it's just miserable hot. It's like 95 at least all the time. It's almost like, summer is supposed to be the season that you go outside a lot. But now when it's like 100 degrees, it's like, it might as well be a blizzard. Like you just can't go out there. This live is a nice way to start the week. Yes, Monday Night Live. Finally watched Dagon last night. Creepily amazing. Thanks so much. Good. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Dagon is a movie that, I've talked about it a lot on this channel. I'm sure there are some regulars who are kind of sick of me talking about Dagon, but it doesn't have a very good reputation. And when I first watched it, I was like, oh my God, this movie's amazing. Like, I just think it's fantastic. And I guess not everybody does, but I'm glad you did. I just want to let you know I started collecting Blu-rays because of you. Nice. I have a nice little stockpile of about 30 so far. That's great. Physical media is definitely like, it's kind of coming back in vogue. I don't think it's ever going to come back where it was like in the 90s and early 2000s, simply because it's not a necessity anymore if you want to watch stuff at home other than live TV and such, the way it was. So like not all normies are going to buy it anymore, but it's kind of coming back as like a cool thing that people do, like to kind of get away from modernity, embrace tradition and such. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to go through it recently, but I had a lot of fun recently doing some like used DVD shopping, because Blu-ray collecting, it is, at least at the point that I'm at with it, it's getting so expensive, because it's becoming so niche and just you just get super fancy box sets, that it's getting less fun. But then I just went out and bought some used DVDs really cheap, and I was like, this is actually fun. Like, I'm just buying movies that I think maybe that's good. I don't know, but it's a low cost, so I'll give it a try. We got Vanderhoff. Will you be doing the deep dive, like a deep dive review into the movie Obsession? I'm sure with the time and effort you put in, it will get a lot of views. I don't know if it would. I never know about stuff focusing on the modern, on new things, because my channel is really built on nostalgia, 80s, 90s, 70s, and such. Like, that's kind of the bread and butter of this channel. So sometimes when I do stuff focused on the new, people are not as interested. That's where I get the most negativity for sure. But then sometimes that stuff does great, and I don't know. As far as the deep dive reviews, I just can't do them at this point, because they just never got the views that lists got, even the ones that did pretty okay. So clearly people like the list from me way more than they like deep dive reviews. I've always said my dream would be to keep the Cobwebs channel as it is, and then also have a second channel where I do like a deep dive review every week. I would love that. I simply don't have the time in my life right now to do that, but that's kind of the dream. I have got a super chat. Thank you so much, Seth. Seth, my best friend, my best man at my wedding's name is Seth. So good name. Thank you so much for the $5. Love your comments. Physical media prevents censorship. For the most part, yeah, it does. I'm not as concerned about censorship as a lot of people are. It's simply just not that prevalent. It happens occasionally, but it's so rare that people make a huge hubbub about it because it's rare. Whereas if it was happening all the time, people would stop caring, I think. But it's very rare. One of the ones that bothers me, one of the censorship things that streaming did was Disney Plus, and Disney Plus is maybe the worst of this. They cut out the butt in Splash. My brain has gone crazy. I can't remember her name, but it's Tom Hanks and cannot remember the actress's name. It's not Kim Basinger, is it? Anyway, you see her butt at one point, and they like CGI'd that out in a scene, and I think that's like, I don't know, that just seems reprehensible to me. It's just like, it's a butt. Everybody has one. Relax. Anyway, yeah, physical media is great. I love it. It's getting to the point, especially with 4K, that it's getting so expensive that the barrier to entry is just too much. And I'm just like, yeah, would I rather watch this on 4K than on streaming? Yeah, but it's just not feasible, like, to just watch that many things on 4K at that cost. Which is why, like, I've been feeling more nostalgic about DVDs lately. But anyway, thank you for the comment. Who is your favorite Ghostbuster? Venkman. Come on, I'm not going to try to be different, try to be original. It's Bill Murray all the way. I love him. Have you ever watched the real Ghostbusters cartoon series? That's the best cartoon show ever. You know, I never watched it as a kid. That was definitely before my time. So I was like watching cartoons as a kid in the late 90s, early 2000s. But I used to work at Family Video. I worked at Family Video almost all through college. And we had the real Ghostbusters on DVD at the store, and I would regularly put it on. So I would regularly have the real Ghostbusters cartoon on the TVs, like while I'm working. So that's most of my exposure to it, but I really enjoyed having it on in the background. It was fun. Corbin, word on the street is they are filming the Conjuring prequel here in Synecdoche. Anyway, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. New York. Which new franchise offering are you most excited for? The Crystal Lake series, Freddy coming back, or Texas Chainsaw? All the way, no question, Freddy coming back. This is one of those things that I did want to talk about a little bit in this live stream. So Freddy Krueger is coming back. We are getting a new Nightmare on Elm Street. They just recently announced it. And I've been just dying for that to happen for so many years. I've just thought that, like, the way horror, like the world of horror movies right now it's just perfectly suited to Freddy. The kind of things that are popular, Freddy would do amazing with that kind of stuff. And I just think like now is the time. Let's do a new Freddy. And it got announced. We're doing it. And I made a post about it here on the channel, like a post announcing, like expressing my excitement. I could not believe how much negativity there was in the comments. I was like genuinely flabbergasted that not everyone is excited for a new Elm Street movie. I was like, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. Like it's a cornerstone of horror. Like how could we not, how could we want that franchise to die and to never get it again? It definitely seems like for some people, they just kind of think if no Robert Englund, no Freddy. Like if it's not Robert Englund, which it's not going to be, he doesn't want to do it anymore at his age. If it's not Robert Englund, then I don't want it. I can kind of understand it, but I just don't agree. I'm very pro recasting just in general. And I think the culture of movie fandom today is moving away from that, is moving like more anti-recasting. And what's the result of that? The result is we're getting more like CGI de-aged people, and we're getting just CGI recreated people, Peter Cushing in Rogue One. And I don't like any of that. I always hate that. Always. I would always rather just cast a new actor. We understand how movies work. Someone else can do it. It's fine. So when I hear like no Robert Englund, no Freddy, it makes me think of somebody in the 1960s saying like no Sean Connery, no James Bond. And then I'm like, well, okay, but if we did that, we would never have gotten GoldenEye. We wouldn't have The Spy Who Loved Me. We wouldn't have Casino Royale. Like we would have lost out on James Bond being a cornerstone of cinema history for so many decades. Or saying like no Bela Lugosi, no Dracula. And then we don't get Christopher Lee as Dracula. We don't get Gary Oldman. We don't get Frank Langella. And we lose out on so much. And Robert Englund is incredible as Freddy. But do I think someone else can do it? Yes, I do. I do think someone else can do it. I think there's so much about Freddy that's not actor specific, his costume, his design, his backstory, his powers. I truly believe you can cast a very talented actor and they can do a great job. And I would love to see it. I would love to see a new take. I think it'd be great. Real quick, we could keep talking about this a little bit if you guys want, but I've got a super chat. $5 from Trent Rushton. Thank you so much. I prefer my Blu-rays. And did you like The Boogeyman 2023? I also think The Last Voyage of the Demeter deserves more love. I've not seen The Boogeyman from 2023. That's one that I missed. Funny enough, one of the DVDs that I bought recently was Boogeyman from the 2000s. This is I used to see the cover for this all over the place in like VHS video stores when I was a kid. And I was always curious about it, but I never watched it. And I'm looking forward to seeing it because I kind of have recently developed kind of an affection for the 2000 supernatural movies that I used to kind of look down upon. And now I'm like, no, let me watch more of those. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out. But let me know if you like The Boogeyman 2023. I heard some good things. Last Voyage of the Demeter I did see. I had a horrible theater experience with it though, so I'm not sure I can truly judge it. The projection was horrible, like unbelievably bad at the theater I went to. Like the colors were all off. It looked terrible. And maybe I should have just left and come back another time, but I sat through the movie and I watched it and I didn't love it. I thought it was okay, but I was like, I need to see this where it actually looks good for sure. Let me see. I'm curious if anybody is talking about the Freddy thing in the chat. Here we go. Robert Englund is happy enough passing the torch from what I've heard. He absolutely is. He is giving it the pass. Corbin says they need to redeem the awful 2010 reboot. Here's the thing. And this kind of makes me sound like a hypocrite actually, because I'm like so excited for New Elm Street. I have not seen the 2010 reboot. I've seen part of it when I was like, not a kid. I would have been like an older teenager by that point. Almost an adult. My dad and I rented that movie and we went to watch it and we didn't get through it. We watched like the beginning. We were like, this is awful. And we turned it off. And I've never gone back to watch the whole thing. But the reason I haven't is because like it's universally despised. Like everybody hates it. So I'm just like, why bother? And I think like, and there were people in the comments of my post saying like, oh, a new Elm Street will be terrible. Look at the last one. And I'm just like, do you really think like, because Michael Bay's company 15. Oh, I'm getting a phone call right now. I should have put that on Do Not Disturb. You would think because Michael Bay's company 16 years ago didn't made a bad movie that no one could ever possibly make another good Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I just reject that. I think they can. Like I do know the director of that movie openly said he did not like the original Nightmare on Elm Street. He was not a fan of the franchise. So I'm like, of course it's bad. You know, like you can get somebody who respects this franchise to direct it. We got Steg is excited for a new Elm Street. Yeah, man. I just love that franchise so much. And a lot of people were also in the comments of that post saying like, well, there was one thing people were saying that's just so easy to dismiss. And they were saying like, Hollywood's just only making reboots and remakes. Why can't they do anything original? And that's just not the case with horror movies at all. Some genres, it is the case. If you're talking like action blockbusters, yeah, they don't really make those original anymore, almost ever. And it's because for a few years they were, and for several years in a row, like nobody was going to see them. Like every original blockbuster was bombing, even if they were good, like Edge of Tomorrow. And they just don't make them. Like the Odyssey feels kind of novel, but it's because it's like not a franchise, but it's not original. Obviously it's based on a very old story. Project Hail Mary did really well based on a book, but still like not a movie franchise. But for the most part, they don't really make those anymore that much, but not in horror. In horror, there's so much original stuff, like so much original stuff these days. Nobody has time to keep up with it all. So like, yeah, I'll take the original stuff. And I also want the horror franchises to continue like I do, even when the entries aren't good. Like I just love horror franchises to go on. Like the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy, pretty rocky, ups and downs. I'm still glad they made it. It was still interesting, and it was fun to go see a new Michael Myers movie for several years. Let me see what other people are saying. I need to watch that 1986 cartoon Inhumanoids. Never heard of that. I'm curious if it's a movie or a show. Speaking of Robert Englund, any interest in his new Pinocchio movie in theaters right now? Yes, I do. I have actually, so I am like morbidly curious about the Twisted Child universe. I haven't seen all of them, but I've, kept up somewhat. But this is one I'm hearing good things, and I'm like, okay, I'm down. It is in theaters in my town. I was actually thinking about hitting my buddy up. Maybe we would go see it tomorrow night. I'm thinking about that. But yeah, I think I could see it for the remainder of the week. So I'll just have to pick a night. I am curious. Yeah, someone said the negativity might be because of the terrible last remake. And, I don't bring that baggage to it because I didn't actually watch all of that movie. So I admit that. But I think we should acknowledge that was 16 years ago. Like the horror scene was completely different in 2010 than it is now. Like night and day. Like we're in such a different time. I really don't think we can judge it. And plus, I don't think the next one's going to be a remake, because horror remakes are actually not really in vogue right now. Like horror requels, reboots, like continue the franchise, but kind of title it the same. Like that's what's popular now. And they will probably just call it a Nightmare on Elm Street. I could be wrong, but I think they probably will. But I don't think it's going to be a straight up remake. Like it'll probably have different characters. It'll probably be a somewhat different story. Let's see. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Joker 89 wants you to know. All the time. All the time. You don't? Everybody does. I love the recasting for Dr. Sleep. Yes, absolutely. I was so happy about that because when that movie came out, like I was so sick of the CGI people. I hate it so much. It always takes me out. Always, always. It doesn't matter how good the technology is. But Mike Flanagan, that's my boy right there. That is a smart man. And he was just like, no, I'm just going to get good actors that can not do an impersonation, but just kind of bring the essence of those characters. And Alex Esso was perfect as Wendy. And I always blank out on names, but the actor who played Jack, yeah, he was perfect. He was fantastic. I love that. I'm always pro recasting. Let's see. Cautiously optimistic. I think so. And like, I don't even necessarily need it to be amazing. And I certainly don't need it to be as good as the original. Like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, I believe it's in my top 5 horror movies ever. So like, no, it's not going to be that good. It doesn't need to be. I just like, I want a new Freddy. I want to see a new take. I remember when I saw It, which came out in 2017, I believe, with Bill Skarsgård. I remember watching that movie thinking, oh, this is the perfect time for a new Nightmare on Elm Street, because it just felt like it kind of had a Nightmare on Elm Street like essence to it. And I was like, oh, they could do this kind of thing for Freddy. But then they didn't. But here it is almost 10 years later, and now they're finally going to do it. Yeah, I think it will be. I think it'll be more of a reimagining. I don't think it's going to be a remake. I don't think it's going to be like scene to scene, all the same characters. I would say there's almost no chance, because they just don't do that anymore. That's not popular in horror these days. Let's see. Yeah, a Dr. Sleep extended version is absolutely a masterpiece. Corbin says those Boogeymans are decent. Okay, cool. I've seen the Boogeyman from the 80s. There's one, I think it came out in 1980, and I've seen that, which is pretty good. It's decent. Ooh, Trent, I was $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I was excited for the Thing prequel 2011. I heard, yeah, they had really good physical effects and ditched them for CGI. Don't know why. I do know why. It's because the studio made them, because the studio was basically just like, kids these days don't like this practical crap. They like CGI. Let's do that. And they were wildly wrong. I've actually not seen that movie, because for a long time I always assumed it was horrible, and I was like, I don't want to mess around with that. But I've heard kind of a reassessment of it in recent years, and it seems like a lot of people like it more these days. I just like, I don't want to sit through all that CGI, but I will watch it. I'll check it out at some point. Let's see. Oh boy. Have you seen Gothic, a 1986 horror film starring Julian Sands and Gabriel Byrne? Yeah, Ken Russell's movie. You know, sometimes people when he's asked me anything, they ask me, what's a movie everyone loves that you hate? And I often can't think of an answer off the top of my head. That's one of them. I hate Gothic so much. I saw it once a few years ago. It was a grueling experience. And the only reason I got through it is because I was doing a podcast on it, because I was being a guest on a podcast. No, I think it was my own podcast, actually. Yeah. And we were just going to talk about a couple of Ken Russell movies, and I'd never seen Gothic, and I checked it out and I hated it. It's just, from what I remember, it's been a few years. I could be misspeaking, but from what I remember, it has almost no plot. I understand like basically what it is, the broad strokes. It's Mary Shelley and Percy and all that stuff. But it has almost no plot. It's basically these people tripping out for 90 minutes, and it is so obnoxious and grueling and directionless, and I just hated it so much. But I get a lot of comments from people like, Gothic's so great, you should watch it. And I'm just like, I should like it because period piece, the cast, Frankenstein adjacent, but I just despised it. Unfortunate. Let's see. Would you consider doing a top 10 Tales from the Crypt episodes, or maybe a best episode of each season? I've not watched the Tales from the Crypt show, honestly. And it's because I didn't see it years ago, back when I had more time. And now it's just too much time. I just can't go through the whole show for one video or something like that. That may be one of those things that I come to, I don't know, when I'm retired, or a point in my life when I have a lot more time on my hands. That now is not the time. But that's the kind of thing I think I would like it. I just need to get more time to be able to see it. I can't remember about who's going to direct the Elm Street. Yeah, I'm very curious. It would be cool if they got someone who's actually big in the horror scene right now. It seems like for these movies, a lot of times it's a more mainstream director who's not necessarily known for that kind of thing. That's how these things usually go. But yeah, I'm very, very curious. We'll see. I believe, I can guarantee you it will be someone who likes Nightmare on Elm Street, unlike the director of the last one. Let's see. The 2010 one kind of tarnished the franchise for a while, was too young, confused, didn't know it was a reboot at the time. Yeah, that's, a lot of those 2010 remakes have been reappraised in recent years. A lot of them for good reason. A lot of them are good, but that's one that people do not embrace that movie. If I think I will commit, I will watch it before the new one comes out. There we go. Let's see. My opinion with recastings or reboots is that it doesn't take anything away from the movie you love. Yeah, totally. If you watch it and like it, there's another movie you like. If not, you don't have to watch it again. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And I understand the logic, again, for big action blockbusters, the logic of you're taking resources away from something original. I think that's a good argument. for certain genres. It's not a good argument for horror because there's so much original horror, like so much, that it's not going to take resources away from anything. And I'm very happy with, like, we get our original movies, the horror classic franchises continue. That's happy for me. Let's see. They miscast the actor. He looked like a linebacker. Jackie Earl Haley? He's like a really small guy. I think he's smaller than Robert Englund. That's interesting. He's the one thing that most people actually kind of like about the reboot. And that kind of tells me that, like, yeah, you can get a good actor and they can do something interesting with it. Who do I want to be the new Freddy? I want an unknown. I don't want an actor that I know. Like, I want someone to, I just get a really talented actor and have him disappear into the role. That's what I want. Okay, Vanderhoff likes the 2010 reboot. It's a shiny 2010 horror movies. If you want the original, go watch that. I'll give it a try. Before the new one comes out, I will give it a try. Holy moly, who doesn't like the OG? The OG Nightmare on Elm Street? Probably someone, but I don't know. I don't know anyone who doesn't like the original. Let's see. Here's me live asking if you have seen or would see the Medusa Torch from 1978. I've not seen it, but I would probably watch any horror movie from the 70s. So, like, sure, I would watch it. I hope they bring back Heather Langenkamp as a legacy character. I'm kind of torn on that. I've been thinking about that, and I don't know how I feel, because on one hand, I love Heather Langenkamp, like, not just as an actress, but as a person. Like, even when I listen to her on podcasts, when she gets on horror podcasts and such, she just seems like a great person. She's just wonderful. She's delightful. And, like, I want her to be in it almost because, like, I think that would be cool for her. And, like, I would be happy for her. On the other hand, I am kind of tired of the jaded old legacy character in these movies. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis, she ran that into the ground hard with Laurie. I will say this. If they bring her back, I would prefer it to be a smaller role. I would like to mostly focus on new characters, and I don't want her to be, like, jaded and angry and miserable. Like, I'm sick of that trope. Please, no. Let her be happy. Like, let her have a family. Don't kill her. You'd have to ignore part 3, of course. You would have to ignore part 3, but don't kill her, and I would be okay with that, I guess. Let's see. Horror just has that stigma that sequels and remakes are bad. Not true at all. Yeah, absolutely. It does have that stigma, and I completely disagree with it. Because, like, even when horror sequels are bad, and some of them are so bad that I just, like, hate them. Like, Final Destination 4 is one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen in my life. I have no use for it whatsoever. But a lot of times, like, I kind of like the ups and downs of horror franchises. That's one reason that Halloween is my favorite franchise. Like, it's long, it just keeps going. Like, nothing can hold Michael Myers down. And it's got these crazy ups and downs, these weird offshoots, and it's really interesting. Like, it's the most interesting horror franchise. Whereas, like, you contrast that with Scream is really consistent. And, like, you know what you're going to get when you watch a Scream movie. And some people think that makes it, like, the best franchise. And I love Scream, but, like, it's kind of not super interesting, you know? Like, it's a very straightforward franchise. Like, it is what it is. Whereas Halloween, it's crazy. And I just think that's better for me. If you want an 80s action movie, it can't be PG-13. Red Dawn, PG-13 80s action movie. That's probably responding to somebody that I didn't see. Let's see. What's the most surprising or shocking deaths you've seen in horror movies? Tough to think off the top of my head. I will say, and I talk about this in a video that I've coming out on Wednesday, actually. But in that video, I'm talking about X, Ty West X. And I love the kills in that movie because they're not like amazing kills that are, like, so creative, so bloody, something like that. But they're really sudden and shocking. Even though it's a slasher and you expect them to die, like, when it happens, it's just like, boom, they're dead. And you're just like, whoa. Like, the kills are like these crazy jump scares. And they're like, the crocodile one is insane. And I love that movie for that. It's really cool. Ooh, been getting into more Italian and giallo horror flicks. Any niche recommendations? Yeah, I need to. I haven't watched a giallo, like, for the first time in a while, so I need to, like, get back into it. But I used to binge them a lot. As far as giallos, some, like, lesser known favorites for me. My second favorite Giallo ever made, I did a top 10 Giallo. This is my number 2, is The Case of the Scorpion's Tail. That's not as popular or talked about, but I love it. It's like, it's not one of the like crazy nonsensical ones, and it isn't even like super horror. Like, it really just feels like a thriller murder mystery, but like the mystery is really good. Characters are really good. Like, I genuinely like the story. It's still got really good kills and a killer dressed all in leather. It's fantastic. I love The Case of the Bloody Iris. That one's kind of underrated. Just a good, straightforward Giallo starring Edwige Fenech. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it's just down and dirty Giallo, straight up. I love The Red Queen Kills 7 Times, which is a more gothic horror tinge Giallo. It's really, really good, starring Barbara Boucher. So those are a few that I would shout out, but I need to start watching more. Like, it's been a while since I've been getting through those. Need to see Del Toro's The Devil's Backbone. I have seen it. And people comment that a lot. They assume I haven't seen it because I've never talked about it on the channel. The reason I haven't talked about it is really because I haven't watched it recently enough to be able to discuss it. I remember I really liked it, but it was years ago. It was honestly one of the first episodes of the Cobwebs podcast. When I first started a podcast, 2019, I think it was. One of my first episodes was focused on The Devil's Backbone. And but I need to rewatch it so I can discuss it. So that's really what's holding me back. Well, that's interesting. Have you seen Hellmaster with John Saxon or Vampires Anonymous with Michael Madsen? No, I don't know those movies. Are they good? Sounds cool. Let's see. Let's see. Kind of scrolling through and seeing if there's any more Nightmare on Elm Street comments before we move on. People are shouting out Freddy's Nightmares. I've never seen Freddy's Nightmares either. It's not really horror, but have you ever seen Fantastic Planet, 1973? Is that the animated movie? I think I have a buddy who likes that a lot. Yeah. I have a friend who really likes it. I've not seen it, no. I think I tried to watch it once, but I was like, ooh, I don't know if... I don't watch a lot of animated stuff, especially since my son was born, because I watch our animated stuff with him. And so on my own, I like never watch anything animated. So no, I haven't seen it. Oh, let's see. I did not know there's so many versions of the Boogeyman. And the funny thing is, like, I don't think they're like remakes or anything like that. Like, the latest one we were talking about is based on a Stephen King story. This is not. The 80s one or not. So I don't think any of them are related. Just, the Boogeyman's a classic spooky character. Let's see. Spoosh says, somebody was talking about Hereditary up there. I'm a rare person who thought Hereditary was all right. I didn't love it nor hate it. I was initially, at least, shocked. This is another like batch of negativity. I'll get my comments. How many people hate Hereditary? Like, I swear every time I talk about Hereditary, my comments get flooded with people who despise it, which was weird for me at first because I think Hereditary is the #1 horror classic of the 2010s. Like, as far as like a movie that was like a cultural landmark horror film that everyone like went nuts for, I think it's probably Hereditary. It's not my favorite of the decade, but I think it's like the cultural horror film of that decade. And it makes sense now. Like, anything popular is going to get haters. So I think that's the case. But I get so many people who hate that movie. I'm just like, what? Hereditary? I don't get hating that movie, but all right. Oh, let's see. Trent, I read The Shining before watching the movie, and it changed so much from the book. I ended up not liking it. Yeah, I can understand. Like, my wife had seen the Stanley Kubrick's The Shining several times before she read the book, and then she read the book, and she was just like, "This stuff doesn't connect like at all." And she started to dislike the Kubrick version more because of how much it kind of loses characterization. And then we watched the 90s miniseries together, and we had a great time with it. Like, that show is hated, but we really enjoyed it. According to her, it follows the book very closely. And I thought Steven Weber was a fantastic Jack Torrance. Like, I cared so much about him, and I felt like he was such a tragedy. Whereas Jack Nicholson is super fun to watch, but I don't care about him. Like, he's not like a tragedy. He's just this weirdo guy. We got another super chat. I'm going to go over to that. $10 super chat from Smiley Hugar. Thank you so much. All right. Am I going to get demonetized for talking about this? I would say yes. That makes sense to me. The only werewolf sex scene I can think of in a movie is in The Howling. And I don't think they show them doing that, but I can imagine it probably got there eventually. And then in Trick or Treat, there's like an erotic werewolf scene, but not quite a werewolf sex scene. But I think the answer is yes. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just show off my DVD haul. So these first 4 here were on a deal, 4 for $12. So they were $3 a piece at my local vintage stock. So I did get the Boogeyman. These are all blind buys. Never seen any of these. This is probably a big gamble. Darkness. This is one of those 2000 supernatural movies that I used to look down on. It's definitely got some bad reviews, but this is the unrated version. And I figure, like, I'm not going to find the unrated version on streaming. And if I'm going to watch it, I may as well watch the unrated version. And I'm curious just because I'm so gaga for like supernatural ghost movies these days that I'm like, yeah, I'll give this a try. I don't even know if it's a ghost movie. I'm just kind of assuming, but let me know if you've seen Darkness. And then, okay, speaking of ghost movies, speaking of remakes, I did get the Haunting remake, which I've never seen. I've always heard it's terrible, but also I'm just like, it's a big budget haunted house movie with a bunch of big actors. Like, I can't help but think that sounds kind of good. And the thing that I've heard about it that people hate is bad CGI. I can deal with it. You know, like if I go in expecting there's going to be some bad CGI in this thing, like, okay, fine, I'll watch it anyway. So I'm going to check it out. I'm probably going to watch it this Halloween season because it just looks like a good Halloween season to watch. Like, how can it not? So I'm looking forward to it. This one I'm definitely looking forward to. The camera's doing like a weird flashy light thing. I'm curious about that. Altered. This is from Eduardo Sanchez, director of the Blair Witch Project. I've been really liking him recently. You know, for a long time, the only Eduardo Sanchez movie I'd seen was the Blair Witch Project, like I think a lot of people. But I watched Exists a while back, really liked it. I recently watched Lovely Molly. I have an upcoming video where I'll talk about that. That's quite good. And I've heard good reviews about Altered. I think it's an alien movie. So like, yeah, I'm on the Eduardo Sanchez train these days. So I'm looking forward to that. And then these I both got for you know what? This one was $5. This one was not in the 4 for $12. So sorry. The other 4 for $12 one was Dreamcatcher. Speaking of Stephen King, never seen this movie. This is actually a Clipper case DVD. Let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy so we can bask in the nostalgia of old school Clipper case DVDs. Oh, let's see. Oh, we've got, what's this? Get a free Stephen King DVD by mail with $3.25 shipping and handling when you buy Dreamcatcher on DVD and 1 Stephen King DVD from this group. How about that? I'm going to, guys, go ahead and do this. You can get a free DVD. There's the Shining miniseries on there right there. Cat's Eye is another one that people often assume I haven't seen because I've never reviewed it on the channel. That's another one I haven't seen in a long time, and I need to rewatch it and talk about it at some point because I did remember liking it. But there we got Clipper case DVD of Dreamcatcher. I've heard mixed reviews on this one, but I've definitely heard a lot of good things. So I'm certainly interested in it. And it is widescreen. I did make sure these were widescreen because I am liking DVDs lately, but I can't deal with it if it's like cropped, you know, like I need the full picture, and all these are. And then we got Fallen. This is one a lot of you guys have been telling me about in the comments. A lot of people have been saying, hey, you need to watch Fallen with Denzel Washington. It's another like demon possessing, jumping from body to body, serial killing. I like that kind of story. I've watched a lot of those and love Denzel Washington, of course. So looks really good. So that's my DVD haul. I'm going to scroll down, see if anybody has anything to say about DVDs. Yeah, we're getting some Fallen support. Let's see. Cat's Eye is a legit anthology. Yeah, I remember enjoying it. Like, you got that good James Woods segment. You got the Drew Barrymore segment at the end. Is the middle? Oh, the middle one's the guy on the ledge, right? Yeah. Yeah, those are all good stories. I need to watch it again. Holy cow. Jay Fletcher, the only movie I hate with a passion of a thousand suns is Dreamcatcher. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. It's like you're gothic. Okay. We'll see how that one goes. I actually just somebody's talking about the Amityville remake, Josh Burns. It's worth watching for Ryan Reynolds and Melissa George. I just watched that. And I did not end up putting it in the video that I potentially watched it for. I thought it was okay, but it's one of those remakes that like I would just never choose to watch instead of the original. But I do at some point want to do like a really big horror remakes like ranking list, and it would probably fit in there at some point. But I thought it was okay. I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. I did think Ryan Reynolds gave a good performance. He wasn't just goofy, funny guy. He was believable. Here's one thing the Amityville remake does better than the original is it explores George's kind of place in the family as a stepdad better, because he is also a stepdad in the original Josh Brolin. But that has nothing to do with the story, really. Like, he might as well just be their dad. But they kind of explore, like, the kids are mourning their real dad, and he's kind of outside, but he's trying to bond with them and kind of trying to be their dad. And I thought all that stuff was good. That was good, interesting inclusions. Oh, let's see. Dreamcatcher has a cool toilet scene. Great. Totally gonna watch it now. Now Dreamcatcher is one I could absolutely go without ever seeing you again. Probably means seeing again. Okay, we got some love. We got some hate for Dreamcatcher. I don't even know what it's about. Like, I really don't. I just know it's a Stephen King movie. Let's see. We got Altered, pretty damn good. Sweet. I thought The Haunting was great to look at. Did not mind the CGI, but just the plot was boring. Okay. Oh, cool. I watched Exist thanks to you. It was fun. That's great. Yeah, that's just a fun, classic cabin in the woods Bigfoot movie. Like, it just does exactly what it needs to. We got Darkness is enjoyable. Good. The Haunting is a great score by Jerry Goldsmith. That's the nicest thing I can say about it. Okay, we got looks good. We got good score. I'll take that. Ooh, somebody says they love The Haunting. I don't hate The Haunting, right? We got good acting, so it looks good, good score, good acting. Nice. I also love the Dark Castle remakes. They're so much fun. Like House on Haunted Hill, not as good as the original, but really, really damn good. 13 Ghosts, better than the original. House of Wax has almost nothing to do with the original, but really good movie. Really enjoy it. Let's see. We got actually a lot of love in the comments for The Haunting. I always heard it was bad, but this is exciting. Saw Darkness, pretty creepy, not great, not bad. Okay, I'll take that. Oh man, Deep Fried Hamster, are you gonna get a PO box? I keep meaning to. That is totally on me. I just need to go to the post office at some point and set that up. Thank you for reminding me, because I'm just constantly forgetting. I do want to do that. Okay, someone said they've heard good things about the unrated version of Darkness. Cool. These are DVD hauls, no horror novels. No, I read as I can, but I read very slowly because I have so many movies to watch for the channel, and I just don't have very much time to read, unfortunately. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Oh shoot. Watched Edge of Sanity with Anthony Perkins after I seen you log. Yeah, I logged on Letterboxd. That I will review in Wednesday's video. Absolutely sleazy, but loved it. It is unbelievably sleazy. Like, it's insane. I was watching. It's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde adaptation, which was exciting for me because I thought it was just like inspired by Jekyll and Hyde. I didn't think it was literally a Jekyll and Hyde adaptation, but it is. So that was very cool for me to see. But it's just like, what if Mr. Hyde was a sexual deviant, just like an absolute perv? And it's wild. It's absolutely crazy. But Anthony Perkins is great in it. Gives a terrific performance, and it looks really good. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool, actually. Oh, and I think in response to the doggy question. Yes, according to the movie Wolf. I forgot about that. I saw Wolf a long time ago, but I forgot that scene. So there you go. Let's see. Oh yeah, I just saw rumblings about this online like yesterday that Mike Flanagan is doing a Carrie show. Never heard about that. I never heard that was happening until I think I saw Ghost Pirate repost the trailer. See, that's one where like I just don't need another Carrie. You know, I just don't need it. Like a new Nightmare on Elm Street, absolutely. I would like new Freddy movies until I die. Like that would be great. And but Brian De Palma's Carrie is just so perfect as it is. I don't need anything else. So yeah, I don't know. Like I love Mike Flanagan, but I just don't care about any other Carrie. Oh, what's this? Thoughts on A2 announcement about getting purchased? Do you mean A24? I don't know what A2 is. I did not hear about A24 getting purchased by something, so I'll have to look into that. Oh, let's see. Not going to ask where in the state you live, but curious, is it a big drive to Kansas City? Because I got dinner buying money in my pocket. Not a big drive. It's not close. Not a terribly big drive. My best friend used to live in Kansas City. He just recently moved out. My sister is in Kansas City now, so I go there occasionally. Let's see. I feel the same about Get Out. Did not love it or hate it. Get Out's one that I definitely really liked on first viewing, but it's gotten better for me on repeat viewings. It's so entertaining. Like just every scene is just so interesting. The dialogue is so good. It's so entertaining start to finish. Let's see. Ever seen House of Long Shadows? Entertaining movie with all the classic greats. Yes, absolutely. It's certainly not great, but it is fun. It's a fun little movie. A fun little horror comedy starring all those greats. And actually, I remember I liked like the young lovers characters, the young couple you've got in the middle of all this craziness. And one of them is I think it's Desi Arnaz Jr. I think is the male lead, but I remember I like them too. It's got a good spooky atmosphere. I need to review it at one point, but I'll have to rewatch it. It's been a few years. Midnight Mass is depressingly great. Oh yeah, Midnight Mass is insanely good. So good. Jack Taylor passed away about a month ago. I think I heard that. Yeah. Jack Taylor, he was in a lot of Paul Naschy movies. Yeah. R.I.P. He must have been pretty old. He must have lived a long, full life. So respect to him. Oh, let's see. Have you seen Ick? It's a mashup of my favorite movie, The Faculty, and Body Snatchers or Slither. Okay. Ick. It's like a confession. I did not finish Ick. I watched it for like an hour and I didn't like it. I was like, oh man. I was like trying to get through it. And I thought I would like it at first because it's super high energy. And it's got this whole pop punk 2000s pop punk soundtrack to it, which is not like my kind of music, but like I like when a movie has like a very specific soundtrack and like it fit the vibe really well. And those songs are still nostalgic for me somewhat. And I thought Brandon Routh was really good in it, but oh my gosh, it's like so obnoxious. It's like, first of all, the CGI is awful and all the horror is CGI and it looks terrible. And just it is so jam-packed with social commentary about every little thing you can imagine, and it's just like throwing all of it at you at once. And I just was like, oh, that was driving me crazy, and I did not finish it. I was excited too when I saw it popped up on Tubi, because I heard about it at festivals like a couple of years ago. I was like, oh heck yeah, I can check this out. And maybe if I stuck through it to the end, it would have won me over. You know, I don't know. Unfortunately, these days, it's just hard for me to justify sticking with a movie I'm really not liking because like I need to recommend movies here on the channel. So if I'm just like, I'm watching it for a while, I'm just like, I'm not going to recommend this thing. I kind of have to go move on to something else. I don't love that. It is unfortunate, but it is kind of the reality of life right now. Yeah, I've not watched the new Carrie trailer. I will check out the trailer. I'm curious because I love the story of Carrie, but to me, like just Brian De Palma's Carrie is just so special. It's kind of like if they did like a TV show version of Fright Night. Could it be good? Yeah. Would I care? Not really, because I have my Fright Night. Oh, let's see. You have to put yourself through the agony of watching Dario Argento Dracula. It's absolutely abysmal. Yeah, I've not finished Argento's filmography, and one thing that holds me back from doing that is knowing I'm gonna have to watch his Dracula. And from everything I've heard about it, I'm just like, ugh, no, thank you. My cat is just like begging to like go outside or something. You can't go outside. It's dark out. I don't know what he's doing. Let's see. Let me scroll down a little bit. See what's going on. Oh yeah, De Palma is one of the all-time greats. He's phenomenal. You should have been a director. I don't know if that's directed at me or maybe someone you're talking to in the chat, but I appreciate that. I really don't have any interest in being a director. I don't think that it's not really like the kind of lifestyle I'm looking to have. Like that's an intense life being a director. And I think I'm one of those people where like if I made a movie, it would be too referential. It would be too unoriginal and like it would reference the past and stuff that I like so much. I don't know that I would be very good at it, to be honest. Yeah, Dead and Buried. I have seen it and I have mentioned it in a video before. I love Dead and Buried. It's great. I have a video that I'm planning, kind of centered on Dead and Buried type atmosphere, that I think I'm going to do in the next month, and I'll talk about Dead and Buried in that one. But yeah, it's great. Detention is one of the ultimate maximalist movies. Yeah, Ick is from the director of Detention. I saw Detention back in the day. I barely remember it now, but I did remember it had like a hyper insane style. And I remember liking it enough and like thinking it was interesting. I don't think it suffered from the CGI problem that Ick has. I don't think it has that aspect to it. I think it's better than Ick from what I remember. I want to start a horror YouTube channel. What advice could you give me? Yeah, right on, man. I think you should go for it because it's fun. It's just like a fun project. Being a YouTuber is so it's such a jack of all trades kind of thing. There's so much to learn. Like there's so many skills to work on. And that's why I say, like, if you want to get started, like just get started, learn as you go. Your early videos are not going to be good. Mine certainly aren't, but you just kind of learn more and more as you go. And it's fun. It's a fun project. What advice? I would say, I always say when people ask me this, experiment, because, you know, there's a lot of different versions of being a horror channel. Okay, now my cat, please don't get tangled in my cords. Okay, my cat Poe's getting on my lap. There's so many different versions of like a horror channel that you could do. Like mine is lists. And it's not even just lists. It's like focused mostly on older cult stuff. Whereas like my buddy Ghost Pirate does similar kinds of videos, but him mostly focus on new indie stuff. So there's so many little focuses you could do. And probably the most popular type of horror channel to do is like deep dive video essays. They're hard. They're hard to do. I've tried them. They're hard. But it's a very popular thing. You can just do reviews. I would probably caution against just doing reviews because it's dime a dozen. Everybody does it and it's not popular. Like you just can't stand out doing reviews for the most part. Like Cody Leach, he did it. Like he worked his ass off reviewing so many movies and doing like long reviews and he made it, but most people can't make it just doing reviews. There's just a lot of different versions you could do. And I would say just experiment and like, see like what type of video you like doing the most, what type of video people seem to like watching from you. When I started this channel, it wasn't what it is today. I didn't know what I was going to really like and what people were going to like. And I found the sweet spot of like, this is what I like doing. This is what people seem to like to watch. This area works for me. But yeah, I would say experiment, watch a lot of movies. You know, I think, you know, broadening your horror palette kind of makes you more interesting. Care about how your videos look and sound. So like get a mic, get decent lighting. You don't have to get a nice camera. Your phone works fine. I built this channel up to a full-time career off of my iPhone. And now I have a nice camera, but I didn't get a camera until I went full-time. But yeah, try to make your videos look and sound good and such, and have fun. And try to connect with other creators and comment on other people's stuff, especially people with similar size than you, and you can kind of build relationships. That's good. So yeah, that's basically it. And good luck. Colin says, bro, I saw Ick in theaters. Love the soundtrack. Hated the humor. None of the jokes are funny. I feel you. Like I do. I'm trying to think, like, did it ever make me laugh? Maybe a couple of times. I don't know. It's just so... I don't know. It's just so punch you in the face constantly. I was just like, geez, I don't know. It was exhausting. Yeah, Ick is a maximalist horse over the top in every way. And honestly, I think I could have put up with it. I think I could have put up with the script, the humor, the excessive social commentary if it used at least some practical effects. But it's like, I don't like the script. I don't like these jokes. And it's terrible CGI in every scene. And I'm just like, I just can't do this. I like Brandon Routh in the movie. I think he's really charming, really fun. He really plays that like underdog ex-emo, but now 40 years old kind of guy, like really, really well. And, but he just wasn't enough. He just wasn't enough to save it for me. Let's see. We are in dire need of new pastiche horror film, like Night of the Creeps or Slither. It's been a minute since we've had a good one. So you mean kind of like one that's like a really fun, over the top homage to the past? Yeah, I could see that. Like my favorite kind of horror movie, and it's one that I think for a long time they weren't making them anymore, but I think it's getting a little bit better now. Is like horror movies that are not necessarily straight up horror comedies, but also don't take themselves too seriously and are like fun and energetic, but still like, still have the reality of their story and like don't wink at the camera too much. Like that's just my favorite kind of stuff. And that's the kind of stuff they made in the 80s. Night of the Creeps, Fright Night, Friday the 13th, 6. You can say a lot of the Friday the 13th movies. Like that's just my favorite kind of stuff. And I think it's getting a little better now, but for a while I felt like horror movies were always really dour and serious or comedies. And I kind of like a sweet spot in the middle. Smiley likes Ick. I respect it. I know a lot of people do. And I wish I did. Let's see. What's your favorite decade for horror? I feel like I kind of said that, the 80s for sure. Maybe a Cat 3 list. I don't think so because the thing is like one, I'm nowhere near an expert on Cat 3. I've seen a few, but like to make a decent one, I would have to watch a lot. And the thing is like, it would be a big time investment for a video that I guarantee you would not perform well because there's just not enough people who care about Cat 3. And if I felt like the audience was there, like maybe I'll put in the work to do it. But there are certain types of horror movies that are just so niche that I just kind of have to mix them into broader appeal lists. So like I still talk about Cat 3 movies. I have reviewed Cat 3 movies on the channel. I just can't do a Cat 3 specific video because not enough people will click on it, but they will click on 10 horror recommendations. And one of them's a Cat 3 video movie. That's kind of like the balance that I've had to find. You ever think about making a Hong Kong horror list? Funny enough, over on my Patreon, I now do a thing where I let my patrons at the $5 level and above at least suggest videos to me and then vote on which one they most want. And I do a Patreon pick every month. The pick for August is top 10, except I'll probably do more than 10. I haven't decided. Japanese horror movies. So I am doing that. And that's when like Cat 3 is like too niche. Very few people even know what Cat 3 is. But Japanese, much broader appeal. A lot of people like Japanese horror, and that makes more sense to the average horror fan. So I will be doing that, and I'm really excited about it. Really excited. Hong Kong horror list, maybe not. I feel like Hong Kong horror is not as popular as Japanese horror, probably because you don't get Hong Kong horror movies anymore. So you're talking 80s, 90s for that, and I like 80s, 90s Hong Kong movies. And I have reviewed quite a few on the channel, but I don't know if I'll do that one. We'll see. Does your wife like the horror too? Yes. But she used to more. So like for most of our relationship, she hadn't watched horror movies when we got together because she was raised in a very conservative house that taught that horror movies were evil and you should watch them. Like one of our first dates together was we went to see Blair Witch, the Adam Wingard one. And she told her dad that we went to see that. And he told her, be careful what you let into your brain. And that was kind of his mindset about horror movies. But she got into them because of me. I was showing her horror movies. And the funny thing is, we discovered she is very hard to scare. Like she's actually extremely brave. She has a very high tolerance for horror movies, which I wasn't expecting. But yeah, we enjoyed watching horror movies together for years. Now she watches them less. Since we've had kids, she's a little less interested in them. So like we mostly watch like comedies together. She's not as interested in watching horror anymore. But I'll probably get her to watch. I'll get her to watch more in the future. Maybe when our kids aren't little, she'll get back into it. I don't know. Let's see. Talking about the A24, did you see the Onslaught trailer? Looks insane. Is that the new Adam Wingard movie. I saw some of you guys talking about that here in the comments. I can't remember what that's called. Yes, that is the new Adam Wingard movie. I did see the trailer. I saw the trailer in theaters actually. And when I saw it, like I didn't know Adam Wingard had a new movie coming out. And my buddy and I were like, whoa, like Adam Wingard, this is great. And I just heard tonight that it's actually in the Guest cinematic universe. He said like it's in universe with the Guest. So that is very, very cool. Yeah, totally gonna watch it. Absolutely. Like Adam Wingard, I'm down. Actually, they just announced, I don't know if you guys keep up with Marvel, but they just announced a new Ghost Rider movie that's going to be directed by, well, it's starring Ryan Gosling, which is cool, but it's directed by Sean Levy. Not excited about that. But for years, my top choice for a new Ghost Rider movie was I wanted Dan Stevens as Ghost Rider. I wanted Adam Wingard directing. I felt like that would rock. But a long shot, and I'm not surprised it's not happening. But I think Ryan Gosling will do a great job. Sean Levy, I think he'll make a competent movie, but that's kind of what he does. So I don't know. We'll see. I heard that, yeah, but I haven't seen it for myself, like I said, but I have heard that. Ooh, Daniel, I bought Night of the Demons 2 on Blu-ray, but saving it for Halloween night as a first-time watch. Good. That's such a fun movie. I love Night of the Demons 2. I probably don't like it quite as much as the first one, but it's close. It's pretty close. Let's go ahead and open up some more packages. So this one is from the man who is basically the sponsor of this channel at this point, Mark Bessinger, who sends me his old Blu-rays because he upgrades everything to 4K, and I love him for it. It's awesome. So he sent me another box. So let's see what's in here. And I don't remember. Like, he always asks me, like, do you have this? Do you want this? But I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Rawhead Rex. I have seen this. This is a fun movie. It's not amazing, but it's fun. And actually didn't have it. So it's a Kino, a rare time Kino did like a side loading case. That's interesting. But it's like, I think it's Irish folklore. I believe it takes place in Ireland. But yeah, it's like Irish folklore around this monster. The monster is this insane looking practical effect that looks really fun. So I like that movie. Oh yeah. Masters of the Universe, the original. I do want to watch the new one. The new one I missed in theaters, which I kind of regret, but I did miss it. And it just hit Amazon Prime. And I'm not sure when I'm going to watch it, but I do want to watch it because I like that kind of stuff. But the original from Canon is not great. It's very dumb, but it is fun. It is an enjoyable 80s movie. So I'm happy to have it in the collection now. And oh yeah, Little Shop of Horrors, classic. And it's a digibook. Nice. How can you not love Little Shop of Horrors? Fantastic. So thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate that. Next, let's dig into actually, oh, you know what? This is a silly thing to unbox, but I'm going to tell you guys about this. So there is a movie that is the number one. It is by far the number one request on this channel that I hear from people all the time that they want me to watch it. They want me to review it. And it is The Dark Secret of Harvest Home, which is a TV movie from the 70s starring Bette Davis. It's a folk horror, autumnal kind of thing. Everybody says it's totally up my alley and I would love it. The only reason I've not watched it yet is it's like impossible to find. It's not on streaming for any price. You can't buy or rent it even. It is technically on YouTube, but it's in horrible quality. It looks so bad. And I'm just like, I don't want to watch this looking like this. And I can't find it online anywhere else. I've done some digging. I cannot find it. And the DVD is way out of print. But I found someone on eBay who was selling just like burned copies in sleeves. He was selling them for like $13, I think it was. And it's got the theatrical cut, and then the full mini series, disc 1 and 2. So they did release a theatrical cut, but there is like a 3-hour, I think, mini series. I think I'll just watch the full 3-hour one. I'll just get the whole experience. But I was just like, yeah, you know what? This is a way I can actually watch this. I'm just going to do that. So I have these burned copies now. So look forward to a review of The Dark Secret of Harvest Home. It'll be fun. Let me pop over to the chat, see if anybody has anything to say. Let's see. Drug Squad Little Shop is a banger. Question: how do you and Ghost Pirate watch all the films you do, plus come up with lists, plus film edit and release bids so damn fast? I won't speak for Ghost Pirate. I don't exactly know his process, but so one, like, I don't freshly review every movie that I talk about in my list. So all of my lists are a mix of movies I just watched for the first time, usually around half of them ish, and then some movies that I'd seen in the past that that I just want to talk about again. Which some people complain about very rarely, occasionally. Like I did just get a complaint about it recently, but they say like the lists are so repetitive. I think that my lists are only going to seem repetitive if you're like binge watching. But if you're like watching the videos as they come out, you know, it's usually like around like at least 6 months that between when I talk about a movie. And what I always say, like to justify it, is I think good movies are worth talking about more than once. I don't think just because someone on a YouTube channel talks about a movie once, they can never talk about it again. I think that's silly. So that's basically what I do. I still watch a lot of movies, like more movies than I would normally, because like I've just got to fit stuff in, but it helps to be doing this full time for sure. So that's kind of watching. I will usually watch a movie most evenings. I will watch a movie during the day, like during my work day, maybe like half the time, something like that. So I would say I probably watch 10 to 12 movies a week, something like that. And sometimes I watch 2 movies in an evening, by the way, if I get an earlier start. And then like film and edit, that just takes time. You know, it takes me about 40 minutes to film most of my videos, unless it's a longer, bigger ranking video, then you're talking longer. Probably takes me a day and a half probably to get a film and a video totally edited and get it out. And I just, you know, I have a consistent structure. So like I release videos Sunday morning, Wednesday afternoon. That's just always what I do. And I just kind of have a process so I make sure that I get that done. And right now I'm a little bit ahead actually, which is nice. So like Wednesday's video is done. Sunday's video is done. The next Wednesday's video I'm editing right now. Especially trying to get ahead right now because we got a baby due soon and I want to take some time off for that. Let's see. Oh yeah, bro. The new Masters of the Universe is actually a lot of fun. It's silly, but Saturday morning cartoon silly as expected. Jared Leto actually kills it. I have heard that. I've heard people say it's like Jared Leto's best performance, which I'm like, that's great. That's exciting. Yeah, it looks up my alley. I think I will have a good time with it. I like big dumb blockbusters. You know, I know some people think I shouldn't. Like, we cult film fans are supposed to be above that, but I'm not above that. I like that kind of stuff. Let's see. Wait, there's Night of Demons 2 immediately on top of my watch list. There is, and it's who is the director of that? It's right on the tip of my tongue, but he's the guy that directed Brian Trenchard Smith, right? The guy who directed Leprechaun 3. I believe that's his name. Really fun. Really, really fun movie. Love it. I heard Ryan Gosling said he would play Freddy. That's funny. I bet he didn't say that because one thing he did say recently in the past few years, I mean, is like he didn't want to do dark roles anymore because he has kids. He said he doesn't want to bring that energy home. He wants his kids to be able to watch his movies. So like he just doesn't want to do it anymore, which is why he's been doing lighter fare recently. Now, like he used to do dark, brooding movies, and now he does like Barbie and Project Hail Mary and upcoming Ghost Rider. But do I think Ryan Gosling should be Freddy? No, I would be on the negativity bandwagon if that was happening. I don't want some big, handsome movie star to do it. No, thank you. I like Forbidden Fruits, which I was surprised. I kind of thought it would not be for me. You know, it's definitely a movie that's made for women, probably young women. But I put it on just like try it out. Like, I'll turn this off if I don't like this. Really liked it. Watched the whole thing. Had a great time with it. It's a lot of fun. The Other Mommy looks good. That's an upcoming horror film starring Jessica Chastain, actually. And I liked it. I dug the trailer. I thought it was cool. It doesn't look like amazing. It doesn't look mind-blowing to me, but it looks like a fun horror movie. Let's see. Clayface looks promising. I am curious. I typically do not like comic book villain solo movies. So like, I don't like Joker. I don't like Venom. I'm not a fan of that whole trend. But I'm curious about Clayface. It's got some good people attached to it. You know, a body horror kind of thing. Always down for that. So I will definitely see it. What's the next movie to look out in the cinema soon? Well, I'm going to go see Pinocchio very soon. I can't remember the full title, but the Pinocchio horror movie. Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man is coming out soon, which I was shocked to see just recently that is coming out. I didn't even know he was making that. I don't think I looked it up. It looks like it's not an official remake of the Clint Howard Ice Cream Man, but it seems similar enough that I'm like, is it adjacent to it? I don't know. And then I'm not sure about super soon, but you got Clayface in October, you got Resident Evil in September. So yeah, the other mommy is coming soon. There's a lot of cool stuff. Boy, I hear that all the time. I tried watching Lake Mungo, but couldn't get into it. I always say Lake Mungo is like cilantro. Like you just have people with a certain gene just think it's amazing, and then everyone else thinks it's horrible. Anytime I talk about it, it's like 50-50 in the comments. People love it, people hate it. I love it personally, but I don't disparage anybody for not loving it because I get it. It is a slow burn, for sure. And it's very understated. It's very subtle. But for me, it was absolutely terrifying. But if it's not scary for you, you're not going to get a lot of the enjoyment out of it that I got out of it. There's some movies where I could say like, yeah, it's okay. But like a lot of people said this was scary and I wasn't scared. And that's not a kind of thing that you can control, like you can't control your emotional response to a movie. It just is what it is. Let's see. And Spooch says Lake Mungo is one of my top favorite movies. Yeah, I love it too. I think it's phenomenal. Let's see. Honestly, I kind of agree with her dad's advice. Very bright man. And yet we have all let all this stuff into our brains. You corrupted her. I'm finally looking back at when I was talking about my wife. Yeah, I did. And the funny thing is like her parents, they don't care about this horror stuff anymore. Like they come downstairs, they see all my horror stuff. They know this is my job. They're totally supportive. So they got over it. I think they just didn't know anybody who watched a lot of horror movies. So they just assumed bad people do or something like that. Oh boy. Ooh, I'd still love to see your reaction to some shot on video movies like Sledgehammer, Video Violence, stuff for the children. Yeah, I'm open to that. And that's probably exactly what I would do. What you said is I'd probably mix it into 80s, 90s lists. I actually think a shot on video list I think that might do okay because I think there's probably a lot of people that have a curiosity about that. But I couldn't do that. That's something I would have to build up to because just my knowledge for shot on video is so low at this point. I couldn't do some kind of top 10 until I'd watched a lot more than I have now. So that would be a maybe one day. I did watch this one shot on video movie the last time I went to the Music Box of Horrors in Chicago, the 24-hour marathon. We watched one called Ozone from the 90s. Pretty good, actually. It's really short. So it just never overstayed its welcome. And it had some insane practical effects that were really fun, especially to watch in the theater. Yeah, Ozone from 1993. I should probably give that a rewatch and like review it in a video at some point. That would be fun because I had a good time with it. Oh, let's see. Best psychological horror. Psychological horror is a tough one to nail down, like exactly like what is, what isn't. The first one that comes to mind is The Silence of the Lambs, which is a horror movie. I stand on that hill. Anytime I say that, I get all these people telling me it's not. It has so many horror sequences that are like textbook horror genres. Like it's totally horror to me. Oh, let's see. Cabin in the Woods and Tucker and Dale vs. Evil are good horror movies that have comedy yet aren't spoofs. I agree that neither of them are spoofs. I do think Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is a horror comedy. I don't think it's just a horror movie with comedy. Like I think a horror movie with comedy is American Werewolf in London. But I think Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is straight up horror comedy. Cabin in the Woods, I don't think is a horror comedy. I agree. That one's just a good horror movie that's meta very much and it has good comedy. What is Cat 3? Yeah, there you go. Category 3 is the full word. It is it's a rating in Hong Kong when they were making a lot of Hong Kong movies in the 80s and 90s. Category 3 was basically the most extreme rating. So you get a Cat 3 rating if it's like rated X, essentially. It's that kind of thing. So they tend to be extremely violent, really over the top, often really hypersexual. They're wild. And I've seen a few. They can be fun, but I haven't seen a ton of them. Oh yeah, absolutely. Abigail is definitely a fun movie. Yes, Daryl Hannah. Thank you. I totally forgot her name. Yeah, Daryl Hannah in Splash. Thank you for that. Good practical effects are so much better than even the most seamless CGI. I agree. And I will say, like, I don't think it's the same for every genre. Like, I'm fine with superhero movies having a lot of CGI. Like, that's fine. I get it. Like, you kind of have to for most of the time. Sometimes sometimes they use it when they don't need to, but most of the time I get it. But horror movies, most of the time I just need practical effects because like there's just a break in reality with CGI, and I don't mind the break in reality for superhero movies. Like that's okay with me. But with horror, you kind of, even if it's really unrealistic, which oftentimes it will be, you need to like buy into the reality enough to get scared, to get tense, something like that. And practical effects just serve that so much better. But I've still seen some good uses of CGI in horror. Like one of the best ones I saw in the past year was Keeper, Osgood Perkins' Keeper. It has some CGI in it. And I remember watching it thinking, that's some of the best CGI I've ever seen in a horror movie. Like it's still freaky, even though like I'm pretty darn sure that's CGI. So it can be done. It can be done well. But most of the time I don't want it. Someone needs to start a Hammer horror channel. Hammer 24/7. You could program it. It would get repetitive real fast. But what I love is on so I have I have a Roku upstairs. I have a Roku TV. On Roku live channels, which they have, there's a Universal Monsters channel. And they don't only play Universal Monsters. They play a lot of Universal Monsters, but they will play some Hammer stuff. They will even play some 80s, 90s horror sometimes. But I will sometimes just throw that on, like instead of like going to pick out a movie to have on in the background. My son and I were recently hanging out in the living room. I threw on the Universal Monsters channel. The Wolfman was on, and we watched the Wolfman, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. When the Wolfman came on screen, my little boy said, "That looks like Uncle Jake." My brother. I don't know why the Wolfman looks like my brother, but that was pretty funny. Oh boy. Widow's Bay is good like that. Yeah, I'm loving Widow's Bay. I'm just getting through it really slowly because lack of time, because I watch a lot of movies for this channel. But I really like it. It's like it's peak atmosphere for me. Probably late to the party, but thoughts on trauma movies. Hit and miss. I'm not an expert on trauma. There's a lot I've not seen, but I enjoy their stuff from time to time. My favorite of their movies is Class of Nukem High. I legitimately like that movie. I think it's fun. And I like Toxic Avenger too. Those are my favorites. We got 2 super chats. Oh my gosh. I missed one like 15 minutes ago. Oh, and my wife did text me about it, and I missed the text. Terrible. Okay, I'm so sorry, JME, but thank you so much for the 4.99 super chat. I really appreciate you. Movie you really enjoyed, but disturbing enough that you hesitated to watch it again. There's a lot of those. And I will say, like, I don't do rewatching as much these days as I used to because I'm always like checking out new stuff for the channel. So rewatching is not as big a factor in my life as it used to be. But I'm not jumping up and down to watch Inside again, the French Extremity movie. I liked Inside. I actually thought it was quite good. Do I want to throw it on random time? Not really, but very disturbing movie, but good. Let's see. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, I thought was incredible. I thought it was so good, but it is a miserable experience where I'm like, no, it would be a very specific night that I would want to watch that again. But that's one that I could imagine watching again because like the performances, the character work is so strong and so interesting that I could see revisiting it. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. What is your opinion of Frailty 2001? Would you consider it to be horror? It is such a great movie, and I love that ending. I do consider it to be horror. I have reviewed it before. I did a video end of last year on like horror movies about angels and demons. That was fun. And I talked about Frailty in that one. Great movie. So fun. Very dark and dour, but it's an enjoyable watch. Bill Paxton, great in it. He directed it. All the performances are awesome. And I consider it to be horror because for one thing, it's got a serial killer angle. So you got gruesome murders in there. You have got supernatural angle. It makes you question if the supernatural stuff is real, but it's still got religious horror, talks about demons. You can see an angel in there. It's very supernatural. And the thing that makes it so fun, I think, it's got so many twists and turns. It's just jerking you all over the place. back and forth on like what you believe is real, what's really happening. And it's super interesting. It has a great script. Love it. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Let's see. How excited are you for Resident Evil in September? Very excited, but not for the reasons a lot of other people are. Like I was joking with a friend of mine a while back because yikes. My best friend Seth, I'll shout him out. Sometimes he watches these. He is a Resident Evil fanboy. He loves Resident Evil. He like loves those games so deeply. So he is excited for that movie because it's Resident Evil, but he's hesitant because it's Zach Kreger, because he didn't like Barbarian. I think he liked Weapons more, but he didn't like Barbarian. And he doesn't like that it's not following the games. So he's like Resident Evil, but Zach Kreger. I am the opposite. I'm excited for it because it's Zach Kreger, because I love Zach Kreger. I love Barbarian. That's one of our biggest disagreements is Barbarian. And I love Weapons, my favorite horror movie of that year. And that's the main reason I'm excited for it. The fact that it's Resident Evil, I don't really care. I've never played a Resident Evil game. I've never watched a Resident Evil movie. I've just never dived into the Resident Evil franchise at all. And I would be more excited if it were totally original, because I think he's such an original filmmaker and I just want to see his own story. But I'm like, okay, Resident Evil, but Zach Kreger. So we're just opposite. But I'm very excited for it because he's one of my guys to watch right now. I think he's so good. I've actually never seen The Prey. That's one of those 80s slashers that I've missed, so I need to catch up with it. Let's see. Evil Dead should always be practical effects. I agree. And Evil Dead Burn, to its credit, has a lot of practical effects, and a lot of them look good. But it does use some CGI for sure. And the final boss at the end, not good. Yeah, not very good, unfortunately. I remember just watching it just like, this doesn't feel right for Evil Dead. It doesn't look very good. It's not horrible. Like I don't hate it. It didn't ruin the movie for me. I still really enjoyed the movie, but the weakest thing about the movie is that final boss. But I give so much, the original Evil Dead movies are all practical because of course they are. It's necessity. That was the time. But I give so much respect to the 2013 one because they did all practical when they did not have to. And I bet there was studio pressure to use CGI, but they didn't. And it all looked amazing. Favorite overlooked sequel. I don't know if it's overlooked, but like I think my top underrated sequel is Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. I love Halloween 6. It's so fun. But I don't know that anything Halloween is overlooked because it's Halloween. I love Leprechaun 3, which I only discovered this year. Yeah, just for the first time this year. Loved Leprechaun 3. It's so much fun. It's hard to think about what's overlooked as far as franchises. Phantasm 2 is great. I don't know if that's overlooked. I actually like Friday the 13th 5. A lot of people hate it. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's one of the best, but I enjoy it for what it is. It's fun. Let's see. I'm going to say actually Brides of Dracula, the second Hammer Dracula movie. It doesn't have Christopher Lee, so it's by definition going to get overlooked. But it's a really good Peter Cushing fighting vampire movie, and I think it's awesome. All right, let's see. A Hammer channel could also show all the Amicus pictures. Heck yeah. I mean, you could just make it like a 50s, 60s, 70s British horror channel, and that'd be awesome. I would throw it on like all the time. Let's see. Started watching the Universal Classics after your Wolfman wreck. Any other favorites? Oh yeah, I'm so glad you're watching those because those are, I mean, that's the horror that raised me. Like that's the first horror movies that I was watching, were the Universal Monsters when I was a little kid. I'm a fan of most of them, but my second favorite is Frankenstein. Frankenstein is awesome. Bride of Frankenstein. If you like that, go to Bride of Frankenstein. It's great. I love Dracula. Dracula has not aged as well as Wolfman and Frankenstein and some of the others. I acknowledge it's like very stagey, but I still love it, especially because of Bela Lugosi's performance. He's just amazing in it. But one of the sequels, Son of Dracula, great. That's really good. The Mummy, Mummy's Hand, fantastic. The Invisible Man is amazing. Actually, I might even say just watch The Invisible Man next, because The Invisible Man is so undeniably entertaining. Like, I love Dracula, but I understand if somebody's like, I don't like it, it's boring. I'll be like, okay, I get it. Invisible Man, I just can't imagine anybody watching it not having a good time. So I would say check out The Invisible Man next. I think you'll have fun. What do you have a favorite style of horror score, whether it be synth-based, Italian library, orchestral, etc.? Drawn to the giallo stuff. Man, there's so many great different kinds of scores for different kinds of movies, you know. I do love a synth score. I love like a John Carpenter style 80s score. But you know, the orchestral stuff, especially from the old movies, are great. I would say my two favorite examples from in that category is the Wolfman. Just talking about the score for the Wolfman is so insanely great that they just reused it for a bunch of Universal Monsters sequels after. They're just like, go back to the Wolfman score because it's perfect. And then the score for Horror of Dracula. Brr, brr, brr. It's so epic. It's so great. I love the Goblin Italian stuff. So I guess my answer is all of them. But if I had to pick one, I mean, like John Carpenter as a category, I think I would just pick John Carpenter because his scores are just so perfect. I've not seen Lady in a Cage. Older thriller that is before its time. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Henry is a top 3 horror movie for me. Honestly, you notice the humor more. It's a bit easier to stomach on rewatches. Still hit super hard though. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, it is so good. And it's a movie I was not expecting to be near as great as it was. So good. Let's see. Boarding House, 1980, thought to be first shot on video horror movies, hilariously bad, basically a vanity project. I have it. I own it. I own the AGFA Blu-ray, but I have not watched it yet. So I need to. I actually didn't know it was shot on video, so that's funny. Yeah, Spooch is with me. Don't care about Resident Evil. Excited because I like Kreger's movies. That's me. Yeah, Kreger's one of my guys. Let's see. I did not get any pretentious from House of Jack Built, but Henry for me is a lot better. I just heard that like there's like a long montage in it where the director, who is the guy that made that movie? I can't remember his name. I don't think I've seen any of his movies, but he's like kind of infamous. So like I hear about him a lot. Yeah, Lars von Trier. I hear there's this long montage of like him and his movies, and it's like this weird vanity section dedicated to himself, like in the middle of the movie. I don't know if that's true. Like that's what I heard. I was like, that sounds really obnoxious. But I don't know. I haven't seen it. Let's see. Did you hear about Apple TV going down last night? Physical media people. Oh, like it glitched out or something. Yeah, that happens with these websites. Like Disney Plus didn't work for us the other day. It's kind of the nature of the internet. Yes, physical media is definitely better for sure. Have you seen the Thorn cut of Halloween 6? Goes more in depth with the cult, apparently. Is that different than the producer's cut? I don't know about the Thorn cut. Did I forget about that? I don't think, unless that's another name for the producer's cut. No, but I love the producer's cut. That's my favorite. Hello, Mephistopheline. I love Mephistophelina. I love it. Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. Hello. Thank you so much for popping in. Favorite foreign horror films? Gosh, there's a lot. I almost feel like when I want to talk about foreign horror films, I almost want to take out English language foreign horror films. It almost seems like a cheat. So like I want to take out Britain because like Hammer, like a bunch of Hammer movies would be in there. And I want to take out the dubbed Italian stuff, like the Argento stuff, because I just watch them in English. It's not technically fair, but it just makes sense to me. So I'm taking that stuff out. The Orphanage, Spanish horror film, maybe the best haunted house movie I've ever seen. It's so insanely good. And let's say as far as Japanese stuff, Ring, obviously. The Snow Woman is a Japanese horror film from the 60s that I'm a huge fan of. Oh, let's see. Now I'm just trying to think of like countries. I did a video like recommending 10 foreign horror films. Oh, let's see. What did I have in there? I had the French movie that I love, Brotherhood of the Wolf. Brotherhood of the Wolf is awesome. I would throw that in there. I love foreign horror films, and I've gotten to the point where like subtitles makes no difference to me. And it takes some time to get there. So I understand that people say like, I don't like subtitles, because I just think it's something you have to get used to. But I'm at the point now where it doesn't matter at all. Train to Busan, South Korea. That's another like massive favorite. I love that one. Oh, let's see. Top 10 best movies based on video games could be lit. I feel like I would be a terrible person to make that video because I don't game. Like I'm just not a gamer, or very rarely do I game. So I couldn't like talk about the source material really. But a recent one I really liked was Iron Lung. Controversially, I know a lot of people hate Iron Lung, but I really liked it. Let's see. How much time do you think Blu-ray and 4K discs have left after what Sony and PlayStation did? Yeah, for people who don't know, like I believe it's Sony stopped manufacturing players, I think. And the one thing I do know for sure is they're now making PlayStations without disc slots. So it's just making it all digital. Is that going to trickle over into the film industry? Well, especially like if people are stopping manufacturing players, that's going to be a major problem. Because like I have all this physical media, and I always thought like I'm going to have this for my whole life. I'm always going to have these movies, and I never really considered if there would come a time where I wouldn't be able to get a player anymore. If like my player goes out, excuse me, and I think I need to, and like I can't get a new player. That would be really, really sad. I just have a hard time believing this thing will just go away completely because streaming is really good. I'm not one of these people that's going to tell you streaming sucks and streaming's going to go out and like blah, blah, blah. Like streaming is good. It is like helpful. It's a good way to like watch a lot of stuff very cheaply. It's more expensive than it used to be, but it's still very cheap. And it's very convenient, but it's not perfect. And I feel like because it's not perfect, it just can't completely replace everything else because people are still going to want those imperfections filled. They're still going to want their own stuff. So I don't believe it'll go away completely, but it's certainly going to go down in popularity. But that's okay because that happened to records too, and records kind of had a comeback. I don't know. We will see. What's the scariest movie you've ever seen? Loved horror as a kid, but it generally doesn't scare me anymore. Only two that got me are Hereditary and Exorcist. Hereditary definitely got me. I've actually never been scared by The Exorcist. That's one of those things where like people get mad at me that Exorcist is not one of my favorite horror movies of all time, even though I respect it. I think it's good. It's a good movie, but like I've never been scared by The Exorcist. And like that's not something you can control. It's just an emotional reaction. It just is what it is. But the scariest, I can tell you the most scared I've ever been by a movie in my life is the original The Fly, the 1950s The Fly, because I saw it when I was a kid, and the spider scene at the end, nothing in any movie ever has scared me as much as that. So that's like number one for my life holistically. Is it still the scariest movie I've ever seen? No, obviously not. But as far as now, Lake Mungo is up there. Like Lake Mungo is really up there. But I think it's The Witch. I think it's Robert Eggers' The Witch. Like that movie just scared the hell out of me when I saw it in theaters in 2015, which is funny because I saw it with my friend Seth. I'll again shout him out, and he didn't like it. He did not like that movie at all. So we disagree on modern horror a lot. And we walked out. I was just like, that movie was like one of the best movies I've ever seen. It terrified me. It was so incredible. And he's just like, that movie was boring, like blah, blah, blah. And it was very funny. So we had to fight about that, but I'm going to go with The Witch. I'm still going to stand by that one. What's your favorite Romero Dead movie? Easy choice is Dawn of the Dead. I love the whole original trilogy, obviously, but Dawn of the Dead all the way. Yes, Adam Scott was in Hellraiser Bloodlines. Not sure why we're talking about Bloodlines. I must have missed something in there, but he was. Ooh, I feel kind of terrible that Brides is my favorite Hammer Dracula film and Lee isn't there for it. I don't feel bad because the thing is, Lee isn't there, true, but it's an amazing Peter Cushing movie. Like Peter Cushing is spectacular in it. So love it for Cushing. That's what I say. Yeah, Dracula's Daughter is good. I don't like a lot of people like yourself, like really revere it and like it better than the original. I'm not quite there, especially since the protagonist, like, I mean, you could say Dracula's daughter herself is the protagonist, but she's also kind of not. There is this male hero in there. he just kind of sucks. He's just not a very interesting character. And I think he kind of holds it back a little bit for me. But I do like it. But I like Son of Dracula more, like holistically. I think that whole movie works. Pretty much all of it. Any idea where Just Before Dawn doesn't get any physical media love? It has. Yeah, it has. I have an old Code Red Blu-ray, but it has been re-released by Kino Lorber. Is it still in print though? Let me see. It was in print not too long ago. I don't think it's on streaming though, which is weird. So I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, okay. I think it's out of print because I see a Blu-ray like on eBay for $100 right now. So it must have gone out. That's crazy. Let me see if it's on streaming because it didn't used to be. This is fantastic radio. Yeah, it's not on streaming for any price. So I don't know what is going on with that movie. That's weird. But if you haven't seen it, find a way to watch it. It's a 1981 slasher. It is phenomenal. Oh yeah, I heard that story. Back to Hellraiser Bloodlines and Adam Scott. I heard this story recently that he auditioned for another Hellraiser sequel, thinking they wouldn't remember he died in the last one he was in. He didn't get it. But that is just the audacity of that. It's so funny. Oh yeah, someone shouted out Universal released Werewolf of London before the Wolfman. It gets forgotten, but it is so good. I like it. Yeah, it's good. For me, it's like it doesn't even sniff the Wolfman. Like the Wolfman's way better, but I do like Werewolf of London. I actually have like a whole figure in another room of Henry Hull's Werewolf of London character. It's a great character design. It's kind of Mr. Hyde like, but it's good. I like it. Oh, let's see. Did you enjoy the colorized remake of Night of the Living Dead with Tony Todd? Pay attention to the girlfriend in the basement. Only character to stream constantly while being productive. I think it is okay. That's one that's been really reacclaimed by people. A lot of people love it now. I thought it was all right. The thing for me is like, I tend not to be into remakes that are too close to the original. If they're too much like the original, then there's just not a lot there for me to like care about it that much. Cause I'm like, I already have the original over here. The only significant difference is they make Barbara a much better character. And she is like, well, I'm not anti-Barbara in the original Night of the Living Dead like a lot of people are. They think it's like a really dated depiction. And to me, I just think if you're in a horrible situation like that, not everyone is going to react well. And like somebody is going to disassociate from that situation. So I don't think it's terribly unrealistic. But she is like certainly a more interesting character in the remake, and I like her a lot. I think she's really good. But it's just too close to the original. I would just rather watch the original personally. Let's see. Ooh, Psycho 2 is overlooked. You might be right about that one. Psycho 2 is, I believe I made a list. I did a list on the channel of like my top 30 horror part 2s. And I believe Psycho 2 was number 2. So it's like my second favorite horror part 2 ever. I think it's amazing. Hey, thank you so much. I'm loving the live tonight. I missed most of them. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. I want to see this. Just watched Passenger last night. It was not great. Have you seen it? I've mostly heard people saying it's not great, but I love the director. It's directed by Andre Oberdahl, and he did Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Autopsy of Jane Doe. He did Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I didn't love, but once again, I had a horrible theatrical experience with it. But I want to see his new movie, but I did miss it in theaters because of the reviews. I was going to see it. People were really iffy on it. And I was like, okay, I'll wait. I'll wait till it comes home. So now I need to watch it. Oh, let's see. Oh, agreed. I could not have a conversation with someone who was not excited about Nightmare on Elm Street coming back. Seriously, like if you go back to my post, my community post about the new Nightmare on Elm Street and look at the comments, and like don't fight with people, that's not what I'm saying, but like they're so negative, and I was like, what? Like I was shocked. I was not expecting that at all. I was like, how can we not be happy about this? Oh man. I kind of like, after they explain their reasonings, like I think it's mostly about Robert Englund, which I can understand. I think they're wrong, but I can understand it. But some people are just some really bad faith takes where it's just like, no, you don't know what's going on in horror movies today. Anyway, yeah, Wreck is a great foreign horror film. Good call out. Ever watch with? I'm just looking at your picture and your name. Okay, back on track. Ever watch Within the Woods? No, I don't know that one. Let me see what this is. I like horror movies about the woods. I like movies that take place in the woods. I like the woods. Oh, it's a 1979 short horror film. Oh, directed and edited by Sam Raimi. Oh, so this was like his first thing that he did, like as a short film. I've actually not seen that, so that's crazy. One of these days. Oh, let's see. I actually do want to watch Shudder. That's a foreign horror film that I've not seen. I can't remember if it's Japanese or not. If it's Japanese, which I think it is, but I could be wrong, I should watch it for the Japanese video that I'm doing soon. I just watched Let's Scare Jessica to Death. What are your thoughts on it? It kind of reminds me of Dead and Buried. I could see that, a similar kind of like slow vibe. I think Dead and Buried is a lot better, but I like Let's Scare Jessica to Death. I have reviewed it. I can't remember what video it was in, but I have. I like it. It is an interesting, creepy slow burn. I think probably the coolest thing about it is the whispering. The whispering is so creepy. And I'm a big, as people can probably tell, I put my elbows in this and the camera shakes. My goodness. I'm a fan of slow burn. I like slow burn movies. It's one that's like almost too slow for me. It's like almost there. You know what's funny? There's another movie that feels very similar to it. It's much less well known, but it's called Dark August. And it's also a 70s movie. It's more focused on witchcraft, whereas Let's Scare Jessica to Death is more like vampire. But I like Dark August better. I think it's even though it's much less beloved. So if you like Let's Scare Jessica to Death, I would definitely recommend Dark August. They feel very similar. Oh, let's see. I'm from Scotland. We have some great horrors based here. Have you seen Lair of the White Worm or Dog Soldiers? Yes and yes, and I like both of them. I didn't used to like Dog Soldiers. I had to come around on it in a second watch, which is an infamous part of Cobwebs lore because I've gotten some heat in the past. But I like it now. I had to give it a second chance. Let's see. Highly recommend Border, 2018 Swedish flick. Okay. I don't know if I know that one. It doesn't come to mind. Oh, I think I've heard of this. I have heard of this. Yeah, but I've not seen it. So I might have to look that up. Thank you for putting that back on my radar. Yes, November is really good. That one is... What country is that? It's not Czechoslovakia. Estonia. That's it. That's a really cool, very witchy, very folk horror kind of thing. Very cool. Ooh, we got some love for Boogeyman 2005. Right on, right on. Let's see. Yes, I love V from Russia. Terrific. That's definitely one of my favorite foreign horror films. The Ripper, the New York Ripper. Oh, yeah. Like insanely mean, insanely graphic, and just sleazy to the max, but a very entertaining movie. It's very well done for what it is. Let's see. Exorcist overrated. See, I am not going to say that. Even though Exorcist is not one of my favorite horror films, I wouldn't say it's overrated because it was extremely important. Like it blew the doors off cinema when it came to not just creating the possession subgenre, but it's just, if you put your headspace in 1973, it is so unbelievably blasphemous, sacrilegious, just like insane demonic horror, like had never been put in a mainstream movie theater like ever before. It's like so extreme thinking of it in that time. And it's so well done. The reason it's not one of my favorite horror films is not a quality issue. It's because I'm just not into the possession subgenre. The possession subgenre is just not my thing. I usually don't like them. Like if you talk about werewolves, like even if a movie is bad, I like to see a werewolf. I like to see vampires. I like haunted houses, but like, I just don't care about watching a demon possessed person most of the time. It's just, I'm not attracted to the idea. I don't think it's interesting. just not that into it. But The Exorcist is the best version I've ever seen of it. But I do tend to prefer demon possession movies that are different, that like have a different twist on it. So like Exorcist 3, I like better. It's a different kind of version of demon possession, and I think it's more interesting. When Evil Lurks is a really interesting version of demon possession that I also think is really cool. So there are twists on it, but when it comes to traditional possession movies, it's just not my thing. Have you ever watched a movie at a drive-in? Heck yeah, I have. I saw Jaws as a kid when it came out. It made me nervous always when I was on the water. Heck yeah, it should. I love drive-ins. I sadly didn't grow up going to them because like, I don't think I even knew drive-ins were still around. Like my parents never talked about them. So I never went when I was a kid, but I discovered them as an adult, got really into them. I went to a lot of drive-ins as I could. But I've not been to one since my son was born about 3.5 years ago. Because that's just impossible. But one of these days he will get older. When he is old enough, we are going to the drive-in together and it's going to be great. But yeah, my best drive-in experience was going to the Mahoning drive-in, which one of my favorite documentaries of all time. I don't watch a lot of documentaries, but one of my favorites is At the Drive-In. It is a documentary about the Mahoning drive-in. It's so fun. And I went to the Mahoning drive-in. It's in Pennsylvania. And I saw Dario Argento double of Suspiria and Inferno. And then the next night we went back and we went to Dirty Dancing. Just amazing. Fantastic experience all around. Ooh, haven't seen The Witch yet. Thank you. Yeah, be warned. It is very period accurate folk horror about Puritan times. And they speak in a period accurate way. It was not a barrier to me. I didn't have any trouble following the conversations, but some people did, like my friend did. So I'll just warn you, but I think it's awesome. Have you seen the Dan Curtis TV horror movies? Kolchak, Dead of Night, Trilogy of Terror? A lot of them. So I've seen The Night Stalker. I've not seen The Night Strangler, but I have it on Blu-ray. I need to watch it. I've not seen his Dead of Night. I have seen Trilogy of Terror a long time ago. I barely remember it at this point. And I have seen his Dracula. And maybe perhaps controversially, I don't like it at all. It's honestly one of my least favorite versions of Dracula. It's just like a really straightforward version of the Dracula story with like nothing really added. And it's just kind of bland. And it's like, I've seen all of this, but done more interestingly. And I think Jack Palance sucks as Dracula. I just can't mince words. I think he's a really bad Dracula, even though I really like Jack Palance. And Jack Palance is a really good Jekyll and Hyde, which I think was Dan Curtis as well. And that was good. I thought he did that role really well, but he's not Dracula for me. So, but I like a lot of Dan Curtis stuff. But probably my favorite Dan Curtis movie, my two favorite Dan Curtis movies, Burnt Offerings and House of Dark Shadows. Have you ever watched a horror movie you were looking forward to, but you didn't like it and had a miserable time? That was Possum for me. I've never seen Possum. I'm sure I have. Like what? The thing is, like, I think I'm usually pretty good at predicting like what I'm going to like and what I'm not going to like. Oh, I'm going to go with this one. Yeah. Recent one. Wolfman, Lee Winnell's Wolfman, which I wasn't expecting to be amazing, but his version, like, and I expected it to not be a traditional Wolfman movie. And I was okay with that. I made peace with that. Because I really liked his Invisible Man movie. It's not traditional Invisible Man at all. That's fine. It's a different kind of thing. It's a really good version of what it is. So I went to his Wolfman kind of expecting the same thing, and it's terrible. Like, it's really bad. It's extremely boring. It's very bland. It just like, it's simple to a fault where there's just not much really there. The werewolf stuff is not very interesting. They kind of like, they tried to make a werewolf curse more realistic, but in doing that, they kind of took everything that's interesting about werewolfism out, and now you're just left with just the boring parts. So I didn't like it at all. The actors are also largely miscast, like no chemistry between them. It just kind of failed on every level for me. Bummer. Oh yeah, Captain Crow's Vampire Hunter. Yes, I actually have a deep dive review of that movie here on the channel. I used to do deep dive reviews sometimes. And I did one for Captain Crow's Vampire Hunter, so you can check it out. We got Ghost Pirate in the house. I think I've referenced you like 3 times in this live stream already. But thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. We got people saying hi to him. Ooh, yes, you should. That's a really good pick, actually. That's a sexy movie. Like it just really is. There's a lot of like erotic 70s movies, but they're not all like legitimately sexy, but that one is. That's really well done. Yes, Ghost Pirate did like Ick. So respect to him. The Ick fans can go to Canaan. Oh, let's see. Top Bill Cushing is the true star of Horror of Dracula, honestly. I mean, as far as screen time, yeah, he certainly is. I would argue that Christopher Lee still makes the biggest impression, though. It's kind of like, I think I looked it up. The screen time of Christopher Lee in Horror of Dracula and Robert Englund in the original Nightmare on Elm Street is about the same. I think it's around 9 minutes. Like they're both in the movies about 9 minutes. But Robert Englund makes the biggest impression in Nightmare on Elm Street. And I think Christopher Lee does in Horror of Dracula too, because he's so incredible in the role. But Peter Cushing is still my favorite in Hellsing, but I think he's amazing in Horror of Dracula, but I think like he shined even better in Brides of Dracula. Like he really so good in that. I'm glad you enjoyed it, John. The Daniel and Ghost Pirate crossover. That was fun. We did one here on my channel too. I don't know if people remember, it was back in October. We did one on Halloween movies, but yeah, we did a recent one on his channel. And to anyone that says, I just like every movie, watch that video because I didn't like all those movies. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that one. I love The Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's one that actually my dad doesn't like that movie, and he introduced me to the Universal Monsters. So we didn't watch that one much when I was a kid. I didn't grow up on it like I did the other ones, but then when I came back to it as an adult, I was like, holy cow, that movie is so good. So good. Satanic Hispanics. Yeah, I think Ghost Pirate just recommended that in a recent video. I've talked about it before a while back. I like that movie. It's a fun anthology. Ooh, repeat movie viewer. I really want to say thank you. Several Ask Me Anything videos ago, you gave me some good advice when I asked you about my YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate it. That's great. I appreciate that. I've given advice in a lot of these live streams. Somebody usually asks me, and yeah, I don't know how it turns out. So I'm glad it worked out for you. That's awesome. Thanks for telling me. Ooh, a lot of hate for Passenger. Ghost Pirate says maybe the most disappointing this year. Shoot, that sucks. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. And I'm still curious because of the director, but that's too bad. Oh, let's see. Anything where they bring back an old slasher is right up my alley. I'm not even saying they'll be good, but I'll at least give them a chance. I'm totally with you. Like I love the old slashers. And if we got to a point where we were mostly just getting sequels and remakes, I would absolutely complain about it because that's not what I want. But we're not at that point right now, so I'm happy to keep going with the franchises. Okay, let's take a pause with the chat, and I'm going to unbox my Vinegar Syndrome order. So they did a sale for subscriber week, as they usually do. A lot of their sales have not been great lately. Like the prices are still not that good. This was a good sale. They actually had some crazy deals. They had a bunch of stuff that I don't know if they were just trying to get rid of inventory, but it was like you could put a bunch of them in your cart and you could get like 3 for $30, or I think it was 6 for $45. I'm losing focus here. What's going on? Okay. It was like 6 for $45. And if I'm remembering right, they came out to about $7.50 a piece. So I did 6 of those. So I got a bunch of Vinegar Syndrome Blu-rays for $7.50 a piece. And I used a lot of points. Like you rack up points when you order from Vinegar Syndrome. And I think by the end of all of my ordering, I'd gotten like $15 off. So that was great. And I did buy some little more expensive stuff too. So let's go through. This is very, very fun. I'm very excited. I'm just going to take all the things out and we're going to go through it all. All right. So this is the one expensive one that I indulged in. I decided I'm going to pay the high ticket. I got Mutant because I love Mutant. For me, I found this on Tubi last year and it felt like it was like a long lost favorite. It was like, sometimes I feel like I've seen all of the great classic 80s horror films and I watch Mutant and I'm not saying it's like it's good. It's not Reanimator, you know, it's not Fright Night, but it feels in line with those movies. Like it belongs under the same umbrella. Like it's just so fun. It's like a zombie kind of movie, but with a bit of a twist on it. It's starring Wings Hauser. And it's a movie that hadn't been on print on physical media in a very long time. And they released it on 4K. And I was like, I have to have that. So I got Mutant. Very happy to add this to the collection. Such a fun movie. And this is the start of the 750 a piece one. So I definitely took some chances on some stuff. There's some stuff like, I don't know it's going to be good, especially this one. I hear it's terrible. I did get Don't Go Into the Woods Alone. This is a notoriously bad 80s slasher, but it seems like, but I know some people who have had fun with it. And I'm like, I'm just happy to add another 80s slasher to the collection. $7.50. I'll give it a chance. You know, I'll do it. And maybe I'll have some fun with that. Then I got the Candy Snatchers. I don't know very much about this, but I have heard good things about it. I believe it's I believe it's like a kidnapping thriller. And I think it's from the 70s. Yeah, 1973. And it had some like good reviews. So I went and took a chance on that one. Beyond Evil. This is another one I don't know much about. It seems to be some kind of satanic bonkers horror movie from 1980. I'll take a chance on that. That's probably going to be at least some fun. Oh, and it's starring John Saxon and Linda Day George. So it's got some cult cred to it. All righty. And then these are the next two that I got in my 6 for $45. Slaughterhouse. This is another 80s slasher. Never seen it. It's from 1987. And I think it's about a big guy in a slaughterhouse with a meat cleaver who's going to make short work of a bunch of teenagers. That's probably what it's going to be about. And I'm probably going to have some fun with it. So that's Slaughterhouse. Let me know if you've seen any of these, by the way. I would love to know your thoughts. And this one was actually, it came with the slipcover, which was cool. Most of the movies in that deal didn't have slipcovers anymore, but this one did. This is Psycho Girls. Here's how I know this movie. I've never seen it. It is from the director of Hot Frosty, that straight to Netflix Christmas movie with that actress who's in like all those Hallmark Christmas movies, where like a snowman comes to life as a guy and they have a romance. It's a stupid, ridiculous movie that my wife and I had fun watching. But I remember like looking up the director of that movie for some reason and being like, oh, he made Psycho Girls that Vinegar Syndrome put out. So this is a horror movie from 1985. And I assume it's going to be about some psycho girls. That's really all I know. We will give it a shot. And then these two are for my buddy. So he asked me to throw some stuff in the cart for him to save on shipping. So he got Reptilicus, which I do have and I enjoy, and Young Gary, which I have not seen. So those are for him. And then I've got these over here. Yeah. Okay. So looks like I threw another one in the 6-4. I think if you like threw an extra one in, it was also $7.50. So this is another one of those. This is a double feature of Horror High and Stanley. They're both from the 70s. I believe they're both Animals Attacks kind of movies. This one's about a snake for sure. I think this is also an animal, but I don't know that for sure. But yeah, they're from 1972 and 1973. And this is also one of the rare ones that cheap that came with a slip. I thought Horror High especially looked fun. Stanley might be too. We'll see. And then these were all just the regular daily deals. So they weren't as cheap as these, but they were also fairly cheap. I got Fatal Games. All right. This one, a little bit of a more famous, infamous Vinegar Syndrome release from recent years. It's an 80s slasher that had been unavailable for a long time. So some people were really excited that it came out on, I think it's 4K. No, it's just Blu-ray. So coming out on Blu-ray. Mixed opinions. I know some people who hate this, thought it was terrible. I know some people who had fun with it. And I got it right before the slipcover sold out. Like it was fairly cheap. And I was like, well, if I'm going to get it with a slipcover, now is the time. So I got it. I'll give a shot to Fatal Games. We'll see how that goes. This is a lot. I was like, wow. This is the thing with the subscriber sales. They have different deals like every day. So you just like put a little order in and it stacks up. Eventually it stacks up. I got Beware Children at Play. This is one that I always eye like every sale, like every subscriber sale. They have it as a daily deal. I always consider it. I never buy it. I finally did. I believe it's a Killer Kid movie, also from the 80s, 1989. I think it might have been put out by Trauma, but I don't think it is a Trauma. It says that it's got a plethora of ultra gory and creative deaths and one of the most ridiculous endings in the history of horror cinema. Another victim of decades of poor quality VHS copies. Vinegar Syndrome is proud to put this out, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they really know how to sell these. I love, like, often if I'm considering buying a Vinegar Syndrome release, I will often not read the plot synopsis. I will read their little description of it, and that often sells me. So that's Beware Children at Play. And last but maybe least, we shall see. I think these are all blind buys except for Mutants. That was the one. I got The House Where Death Lives, which is also known by, Delusion. This is the poster that I know. I've seen this poster around a lot. But apparently its alternate title is The House Where Death Lives. As I understand it, so this is also from the 80s. It's 1981. I understand that this is like a slow burn, classier horror movie about like a woman who goes to live in a mansion, I think maybe to take care of an elderly rich person. And I've heard it's like pretty good, but I've been kind of vibing with like slow burn, spooky house kind of movies lately. So I thought I would enjoy it. It does have a late performance from Joseph Cotten, classic Hollywood actor. So that's cool. So that's another one that I've been considering like ever since they put it out. And it was quite cheap. I think it was around like only $10. So there you go, man. That's a lot of movies. That's a lot of movies to go through. I might have to do just like one video format that I've done that will allow me to like watch movies that are probably bad and talk about them anyway, is I've done some movies that are like 10 bonkers horror movies to watch or avoid. And that way, like, I can review some bad ones and some good ones. So I might do another one of those videos and watch a bunch of those for that. All right. We got a no message super chat from D-Bow. I see D-Bow in the comments like all the time. So thank you so much for your support, how much you watch the channel and comment. I appreciate you. $1.99. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see what folks are saying. Oh, so shout out back to the DVD haul. Somebody likes Darkness a lot. Cool. That's awesome. Let's see. My husband and I love watching your vids. Our Tubi list is getting out of control. Yeah, I bet it is. I always love to hear that people watch my videos like with their families. Like when people say like, I watch it with my girlfriend, my husband, I watch it with my kids. Like that always makes me happy. So thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I love John Saxon. So he was one of the reasons I checked it out. Yeah, Vice Squad is Wings Hauser's magnum opus. Like that is his greatest performance. There's no comparison. But I always enjoy watching him and everything. Ooh, Don't Go Into the Woods Alone freaking rules. And someone said, and boring. But he did say Beyond Evil is good. So that's cool. Let's see. Bro, I just watched Mutant on Tubi the other night, as you recommended on the channel. Wings Hauser is so good. That's why I watched the Vice Squad. But did you like Mutants? I'm just going to assume you like Mutants. Otherwise, you probably would have told me. Yeah, I love Mutants. And I remember being sad that I couldn't buy it on physical media. And when they announced it on 4K, it's kind of rare these days that Vinegar Syndrome announces a movie. And I'm like, oh, I know that movie. Like that's one that I love. That doesn't happen as much. So that was kind of an exciting announcement. Oh, let's see. Oh, heck yeah. Deborah Foreman. Absolutely. Thanks for being positive about your movie list. There's a few others who do negative lists and it just doesn't vibe right. Haha. Yeah, I kind of had to be that guy on my collab with Ghost Pirate, because we just gave each other 5 movies to blind watch and just review, and a couple of them I didn't like, so I had to be negative. And I got some hate in the comments. Some people were like, man, this Cobwebs guy is so negative. And I'm just like, not normally, like not on my channel, but I don't love every movie. So sometimes I have to be, but yeah, for the most part, I enjoy being positive much more. Because also sometimes I just enjoy a movie more on a rewatch too. So sometimes I'm like, you know what, I might vibe with it like later. So I don't always want to tear into something right away, but sometimes I feel strongly about not liking it. Are you really the head of the Quickie Mart? No, I don't know. I don't know where you got that one. Someone else loves Darkness. Okay, we're getting a lot of love for that. Stanley is good. Okay, sweet. That's good. Excited for Resident Evil and Clayface later this year. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I'm interested in Clayface. I can't say I'm excited, but I'm definitely going to watch it. Very excited for Resident Evil because it's Zach Kreger, and Zach Kreger is one of my boys right now. So I'm very excited to watch that. Let's see. Damn, Vinegar Syndrome has nice covers. That's what they specialize in. That's what they do. Are the movies always great? Certainly not. But I do kind of vibe with Vinegar Syndrome's curation. Definitely some they've released a lot of movies I haven't liked, but as opposed to like Severin, another company that's adjacent to Vinegar Syndrome, they do a similar kind of thing. I don't trust Severin's curation at all. And because they put out a movie, that does not necessarily mean I'm interested in it. Because I've watched a lot of stuff that I have just hated from Severin. I feel like they'll put out anything. But Vinegar Syndrome, I'm more on their wavelength. Like I like their kind of stuff. Let's see. I have to say again, those covers are nice. Yeah. 80s cold horror director. You either die a hero or live long enough to get stuck directing Hallmark Christmas movies. That's actually what a lot of them do now. If you look into like low budget exploitation horror directors from the 80s and 90s, it's fairly common that they go on to make like Hallmark Christmas movie type stuff, because I've said this before. It's the truth. Hallmark Christmas movies are the exploitation films of our time. Like in the 80s, like the top exploitation movies were like horror, action stuff. Now it's Hallmark Christmas movies. Like that's what they just pump out just to make money, just exploiting, Christmas and like white people getting together and being romantic basically. And like I saw a theatrical screening of Prom Night 3 at the Music Box Theater, which was awesome. I loved Prom Night 3. And the director gave a Q&A. He seemed like a super cool guy. But he directs Hallmark Christmas movies now. That's what he does. And it's just funny. Anyway. Hello, sir. I got to say, I love your shirts. And I think it'd be chill if you had links to where to find them. I do that sometimes. So check my description. I do post a link sometimes. The shirts I wear are not always available anymore. And sometimes I forget to, I admit it. But I do it sometimes. But I should do it more. Oh, let's see. Horror High leans more towards Jekyll and Hyde. Heck yeah. I love Jekyll and Hyde stuff. So that's great. Delusion is forgettable. Okay. Yeah, I've heard mixed things. Some like meh about it. Ooh, fellow Missourian here from St. Peter's. I've watched quite a few recommendations. Thanks for the channel. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. That's right. Creeping Flesh is Tygon. Tygon is weird. When it comes to like the British horror films of that era, like undoubtedly you got a Hammer at the top, Kings, and then you got Amicus under there. And then I would say you got Tygon under there. And Tygon has two amazing movies. They put out Blood on Satan's Claw and Witchfinder General. Incredible. Nothing else that they put out that I have seen has been very good. And I've like tried with Tygon and just been like, stuff is not working. Creeping Flesh was not very good. I really wanted to like it because it's got like Peter Cushing, but it is just not much happens. Like, man, it's slow. Night of the Blood Beast, I believe, is another one, also with Peter Cushing. It's got like a moth monster that you barely see in it. Also, just not much happens. So Tygon, they're no Hammer for me, and they're not even Amicus for me, but they do have at least two great movies. Don't Go in the Last House on the Left that Jack built, Where Death Lives Alone. A masterpiece. We got to watch that. Love the Bonkers List videos. Yeah, I got to do another one of those. Head of the Family was a blast. Yes, I love Head of the Family. I watched another Full Moon movie recently. Full Moon, they just get me. I just like 90s Full Moon. Like, I don't know. I just vibe with those movies most of the time. And I watched Meridian recently. It's like kind of their Beauty and the Beast. It's got Sherilyn Fenn. I almost against my better judgment, I really liked it. Like, I really enjoyed it. And it's in my next 2B video coming out soon. Oh, let's see. Have you attended any film festivals lately? No. It's been a little bit too much of a busy year for that, but I do plan to go back to Panic Fest next year. They usually do it in March, maybe early April. It's in Kansas City. I do plan to be there next year. Yes, got into Paul Nash. Thanks to your views. Appreciate it. Absolutely. I need to watch another Paul Nash movie. It's been a minute. Perhaps you could do a Hammer on Tubi video someday. The only problem with that is I feel like it'd be so repetitive because I think I've reviewed everything Hammer on Tubi. What I do plan to do is I want to do like a top 20 Hammer videos list because I have a top 10 Hammer movies list. But one, it's demonetized for copyright because I wasn't as good as editing back then. And two, like it's so old. Like my videos have progressed exponentially since then. So I was thinking I need to kind of redo it and do it as a top 20. So I will do that soon. We got more love for Mutant. Awesome, awesome. Let's see. What are your thoughts? Ooh, man. You guys are asking me about all my negatives now. I'm getting negative in this stream. What are your thoughts on Terrified? Can't wait to see what he does next. I didn't like it. I did not. That's one of those movies that's like a movie everyone loves that you hate. I believe he's the same director as When Evil Lurks, and I loved When Evil Lurks. But Terrified has some amazing imagery and some great scares. But on a story level, I thought it was so dull. It keeps jumping characters where like you start out with some characters and you're like, okay, like I'm getting into this, and then those characters are gone. And then we go with these characters, like, oh, okay, I'll follow them. Nope, they're gone. And then like it keeps moving where I never get the chance to like get interested in anybody. And I remember just being so bored. Like I just thought the story structure of it was so weak. But I'm pretty alone on that. Most people love that movie. So do not take my word for it by any means. And I did love his movie When Evil Lurks. I thought it was a huge improvement for me. I have reviewed Hell's Trap. Vinegar Syndrome put that out. That's a Mexican film. I reviewed it pretty recently. What video was that? Maybe it was one of my 80s lists. It was recent. I'm like scrolling through. Oh yeah, it was in my double features video. I did a video like 10 double features, and that was in there. That's a fun movie. I really enjoy it. Oh, dude. Okay, it's bonkers that nobody's ever talking about The Evil Within. A David Lynch meets Tim Burton fever dream of horror, completely financed by the late director. I have been meaning to watch that movie ever since it was released. Like I remember I was working a family video at the time, I believe, and we got the DVD, and I was just looking at this DVD cover like, what is this? Like it was so weird. I also remember stumbling. I think actually before that, I stumbled across the trailer on social media and was like, I thought it looked so bizarre. And I have no idea why I still haven't watched it. I have no idea. Like why have I just not pulled the trigger on that? That's absolutely insane. So I do need to watch that movie. Thank you for reminding me. We got another super chat from Max Pez. Thank you so much. $9.99. That is awesome. I really appreciate that. I just want to say that you helped make last year's Halloween season one of the best I've had in years. Found so many amazing folk autumnal films through you. So hyped for the season. Awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll tell you one movie that I'm going to watch for my next autumnal video. Dark Secret of Harvest Home. Wow. Anyway, that's a disc. That's one that I will watch for that. We'll see how that one goes. Let's see. I like your honesty. I am honest to a fault. My dad has told me that before. So I watched Carpenter too. Wings Hauser. Yeah, that's a good movie. Do you like cats? I do like cats. We have 2 of them. I used to love cats, and like we loved our cats so much. And then we had a baby, and the baby replaced the cats for the most part. And we still love our cats. We care for them. We take good care of them. We just took them to the vet recently, but they don't get the attention that they used to, because we have a toddler now. But I do really like cats. I'm a cat person over a dog person. I remember I saw I got another super chat. I will get to you in just a second. I talked about a video recently where a dog dies, and I like warn people about that. I said, like, if you're a dog person, be warned. And somebody commented, was like, I hope you're a dog person too. And I'm just like, I mean, I like dogs. Okay. Like I like to I'm kind of like those people that like, they like hanging out with their friends' kids or like being aunt, uncle, but they would never want their own kids. I'm like that with dogs. Like if you got a dog, I'll give them pets. I might even take them for a walk. That's fun. I do not want my own dog. Oh, it doesn't say anything actually. But Scott Darling, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Yeah, you totally could have asked the question, but that is okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Junior isn't half bad. The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? I've actually never seen that one. I'm definitely aware of it though. Do you dabble in film production? I do not. I'm kind of a weird movie YouTuber, and that I'm not that interested in becoming a horror filmmaker, really. Because I don't know, I'm just more interested in other people's art than art I would make for myself. So I think like my dream job in this world is kind of is I mean it is kind of what I do now, but it's like film historian. Like I just like to like dive into the history of film and particularly horror movies. So I'm kind of doing like this is what I want to do. I'm not that interested in making movies. What I would like to do, I saw another super chat I will get to in just a second. What I would enjoy doing is maybe doing like a small acting role in a movie. Like if I knew somebody that was making a movie and they just wanted me to like play some kind of part, because I did a lot of acting in high school. I was like really obsessed with theater and stuff. I would enjoy that. Like it'd be fun to like have a small part in the movie, but I don't want to control and steer the whole ship. Partially because like that's also a lifestyle I don't want. Like that's a really intense, out of the house all the time kind of lifestyle, and I'm just like very much a family man. I want to be with my wife and kid. Oh, let's see. $10 super chat, Canadian $10. Thank you so much. Just a thank you for being one of the best natured hosts on YouTube. I appreciate that. All the best from Canada, even though we're at war. Oh, are we? Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I should probably wrap this up pretty soon so I can get to sleep at a decent time. Where can I get that shirt? This shirt, I just got it on Amazon. I'm sure you have noticed from the videos, but I've gotten really into my favorite stuff to wear in videos is like a graphic tee and then a crazy spooky Hawaiian shirt basically over it. Like that's just become my style. How I came to that is I watched this video with Cameron Chaney, Library Macabre on YouTube. I really like him. I would love to talk to him in a video one day. That'd be cool. I think he might have been a collab he did on someone else's channel, and I don't know who the other guy is. I don't remember who he is, but they were just talking horror movies, and I watched the whole thing, really enjoyed it. But that other guy, not Cameron Chaney, he was wearing like a crazy horror graphic tee and a crazy horror short sleeve Hawaiian shirt over it. And I was just like, that is such a loud, bold choice, but I love it. Like I want to start wearing stuff like that. So I started getting more like horror themed shirts. So I will frequently like, they're hard to find, but I will frequently like go on Amazon and just search like, is there anything like that? And I'll snatch them up if I see them. During the Halloween season, Walmart will sometimes sell like horror themed Hawaiian shirts, and I'll get some then. They're not common, but I like to get them. This shirt, you're probably not talking about this shirt, but if you're talking about this shirt, I sell this shirt in my TeePublic store, which there's always a link to my merch store in my videos. This is directed by Terrence Fisher, because I see those directed shirts a lot that like directed by John Carpenter, directed by Quentin Tarantino. There's not one on the internet for Terrence Fisher, but I thought he deserved it, so I went ahead and made one. Oh, let's see. Beware Children at Play is the most over-the-top, hilariously bad ending. If you don't laugh out loud, then you are not human. That's what the back said. And that's one reason I'm very excited for it. Sounds great. Oh, let's see. Hallmark Christmas movies are 1960s Elvis movies of present day. Kinda. I think Elvis movies are significantly higher quality, though, than Hallmark Christmas movies. Like, I acknowledge Elvis movies are not great. Some of them, Viva Las Vegas, Blue Hawaii, I stand by those movies. Those are fun. I'm actually kind of an Elvis fan. But like, yeah, a lot of them are bad. I would probably take any Elvis movie over a Hallmark Christmas movie. Like, and even like not all modern day Christmas rom-coms are alike. Like a lot of the Netflix ones can be okay. There's some like okay ones on Netflix. There can be some okay ones on Amazon Prime. The Hallmark movies are a special level of bad. Like they are incompetent. Hot take. Yes, I like Motel Hell. I think I've only ever talked about it once. It was on my video on like my favorite farmland horror movies. But I do like it. I haven't seen it in a while. I'd wear that shirt to work on Halloween in lieu of a costume. Yeah, you totally could. Yeah, it's perfect for that. Vinegar Syndrome release of Brimstone and Truckle was awesome. Oh, cool. I heard about that one. That's the one that has Sting, right? I think Sting is in it. I heard mixed things about it, but that's cool to know. I might have to look for that in an upcoming sale. Let's see. Those Hammer films are too slow burn for me. I hear people say that, and like, you know, I respect it. You're not alone. A lot of people say that. Personally, I just don't really get it because, like, to me, Hammer films move fast. Like, there's no fat on those movies. Like, they're so tight. Like, there's no wasted time in a Hammer movie. Most of them. I'm trying to think, like, what's a slow Hammer movie? Evil of Frankenstein is not very interesting. Yeah, Evil of Frankenstein is kind of boring. That's a slow one. But most of them are not. Like, most of them are really tight. Like, they just move. But a lot of people do think they're slow. I don't know. Not to me. Ooh, I've been on an Albert Pune run. Absolutely insane filmography. Sword and the Sorcerer was awesome. Sword and the Sorcerer was awesome. And I definitely had some people giving that movie hate in the comments of my recent Dark Fantasy video. And like someone was saying, like, it's so bad. And I just commented, why? They haven't responded. But I'm just like, what is, I acknowledge the script is kind of clunky at times, but like, that's a fun movie. Like, what's so bad about it? There's another movie in that Dark Fantasy video that got way more hate because it's a major bandwagon right now, but not going to get into that. But Sword and the Sorcerer, it's fun. Albert Pune, he has another movie that I think is like, you probably watched it already, legitimately good. I believe it's called Dangerously Close. And it's like a teen thriller about a teenage boy at a high school, and he runs in with this other gang of boys, and the situation gets pretty intense. It might be college, actually. I don't remember if it's high school or college. It's actually good. And then I think his Captain America is awful. I'm not going to support Captain America, but Cyborg is great. Really like Cyborg. So yeah, he has some fun stuff. What's that one movie? Nemesis. Have you watched Nemesis? We're just talking Pune now. Nemesis is like bad on a script level, but it looks so cool and the action is so great and it's like really ambitious. It's interesting. Like, Nemesis is an interesting one. It doesn't totally work, but it definitely works in some ways. Yo, Kanan says I'm going to try and meet up with you there too at PanaFest. That would be great. Yeah, last time I went, I met up with Garrett at Born to Be Rad and the whole Rad Pack crew, and that was fun to meet up with them. I don't know if they'll go again, but that would be cool too. But that'd be awesome if you came. Yeah, we'd have a great time. There's a bar underneath the theater where they do Panic Fest. That's like all 80s, like mostly 80s themed, a little bit 80s, 90s. And they've got like a lot of like places where you can play video games around like a CTR TV, and like you can play like Nintendo, and they got couches around it. And they got like a screen where they might be showing an old movie. They've got a whole physical media section. It's really fun. So we'll definitely go downstairs to that. Have you seen Jekyll and Hyde Amicus film I Monster? I actually haven't. That's one of those that I've always been meaning to see, and I've not watched it yet. So I got to get to that. Ooh, I have an autographed DVD of Meridian. I just don't remember whose autograph. I would hope Sherilyn Finn, because that would be the one that would be like the most valuable. But it's also got, is her name Charlie Spaulding? Charlie Spaulding is kind of, yeah, Charlie Spaulding. That's like, she's kind of semi-iconic B-movie actor. She's also in Mirror Mirror, which I watched recently. She's fun in that movie. Then you got the main guy. I didn't really know the main guy that much, but fun movie. Oh, let's see. I've not seen Skin Deep, but somebody recently in the comments got mad at me for liking Skin Deep. And I'm like, I've never even heard of Skin Deep, but I've heard of it now because he said that. But he was mad at me for liking Hereditary and some other like A24 kind of slow burn movie and Skin Deep. And I'm like, I've never seen Skin Deep. But anyway, I haven't seen it. So cool. I kind of wonder if he meant Under the Skin. That's what I was kind of suspecting, which I do like. Oh, let's see. The Tomorrow War. You know what? I actually kind of like The Tomorrow War. It's like it's a dumb Chris Pratt alien action movie that went straight to Amazon Prime. It's enjoyable. I was surprised how consistently better it got as it went, where I was like, I'm just getting like more and more invested in this. And by the end, I was like, hell yeah, this is kind of badass. It's enjoyable. Panic Fest is in Kansas City. It's at a great theater. It's at a theater called Screenland Armor. Screenland Armor is one of my favorite theaters I've ever been to. I love that place. I just feel so at home there. The last time I went there, I saw Hokum there. It was great. Cause like where I live, Our theater is okay, but like I feel like crowds don't care that much. Like I feel like there's never a crowd experience at that theater. I don't have bad crowds. I don't have people talking on their phones hardly ever, but they just don't really react to anything except the Odyssey. When I saw the Odyssey recently, everybody applauded by the end. But Hokum at that theater, people were into it. People were laughing at the right times. They were gasping and like jumping at the right times. And it was like so fun. It was like a genuine community experience. Love that place. Let's see. Yep. Kansas City. Daniel, let's talk about that incredible werewolf trailer. Yes. Question. Do you think Eggers is actually going to give us an actual werewolf, or do you think it's going to end up being some kind of internal struggle? I'm not sure. And that's a big question for me, because originally I completely assumed it was a real werewolf. And like, I know Robert Eggers movies are steeped in history, but one thing that I like about him is he doesn't just deal with actual history. He deals with the legends and myths of that time and kind of operates as if those are real for the most part. And I love that he does that. So I assumed that like it's about the werewolf legends of that time and they're real. But I read something, I don't remember where it was. I don't know if it's the most reputable source, but I read something about how it might have actually been from the Splattercast boys, good YouTube channel, that it was about how people would sometimes go mad and do things that are so horribly violent that people said they can't possibly be human anymore. They must be a werewolf. But it's actually a person going mad and doing horribly violent things. But I don't know. I don't know if like it's just that, or if it's like their beliefs about him being a werewolf is actually that. I really hope it's an actual werewolf. I really hope. That's what I want. I don't want a person just going insane. No matter what, I think I'm gonna like it because I like Robert Eggers stuff. He's just on my wavelength, but I want it to be a werewolf so bad. We'll see. Let's see. The Gorgon is a personal Hammer fave, though the practical effects in the climax don't really deliver. Barbara Shelley is so great at it. Completely agree 100%. I love that movie so much. To me, like it is like almost more of like a gothic fairy tale than a straight up horror film, but it operates so well as that. And yeah, the practical effects, they were even disappointing to the actors at the time. Cause like Barbara Shelley, one, she wanted to be the one in the makeup. They didn't let her, unfortunately, but she wanted that. And she wanted actual snakes in her hair. And she was like down for it. She was like, let's do it. Put snakes in my hair. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't let her do it. They didn't go there, which is disappointing. I don't know if it's disappointing. I don't know if she would have gotten hurt. If she would have gotten hurt, I'm glad they didn't do it. But like, it would have been cool if it worked out. Let's see. Ghost Part says, I love dogs and cats, but I'm a rat guy. I actually had 2 pet rats when I was a kid for a while. So I'm kind of on board with you there, even though at this point I would rather have cats than rats. But at one point I did have those. I remember you reviewed Hell's Trap for your 10 underrated retro horror movies list. Yes, which I still think is your magnum opus. Such a great variety. Thank you. Yeah, that video ended up doing really well, like way better than I expected it to. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I saw Good Boy. It was okay. I agree. I wasn't that into Good Boy. It wasn't my bag. Video cover had a baby with a chainsaw. What did? Oh, Junior, 1985 hillbilly horror. I don't know that one. Interesting. I'll have to look into it. Love Library Macabre. Yeah, he's so cool. He's a cool guy. And I've talked to him some. We've been friendly, but we've never had a actual conversation or collabed in any way. But I think it'd be cool if we did one day. Ooh, Middle of Beyond has a ton of those button-up horror shirts. Thank you for the heads up. Let me look into that. Okay, I'm not going to go shopping right now, but I pulled up the website, so thank you. I'll look into that. Let's see. Several years ago, I started buying most of my movies online at Scream Factory, Arrow, and Groove. Aside from Vinegar Syndrome, any other online movie companies you can recommend for horror movies? Yeah, I don't do a ton of purchasing as much as I used to these days. Vinegar Syndrome kind of is like, I don't buy a whole lot anymore, but I'm kind of like, I consider Vinegar Syndrome like my little hobby. Like they're just kind of the ones I focus on. But Kino Lorber has a great run these days called Kino Cult. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Like they put out The Beast Within and Squirm in that line. Those are really good. Severin, I have a love-hate relationship with. I have a lot of their stuff. They've released a lot of cool stuff, but they're ridiculously expensive and they release a lot of terrible movies. So I don't know. Synapse is becoming interesting these days. And then, Arrow Video is like, yeah, you listed Arrow right there. And Scream Factory, they're like the bread and butter for sure. But I don't have a lot of deep cut recommendations beyond those. I really like your focus on cozy horror. Yeah, it's funny that I kind of stumbled into that because I would have never guessed that there would be such an audience on YouTube for like cozy horror movies. I thought I was kind of a weirdo, and I thought I expected people would make fun of me for like saying cozy and like referring to horror movies and such. But it's caught on. Like I've found, like I've built my channel in such a way, like I've built my audience in such a way now where I can get more views and attention by recommending cozy horror movies and branding it that way than like disturbing horror movies. And that's weird because disturbing horror is like, that gets attention, but not on this channel, not with the kind of audience that I've built. And I love that. I think it's so cool. I never would have guessed it would have worked, but it's great because I just love, that's just like my favorite thing. Like I just love like a cozy little spooky story. That's just my favorite stuff. And I didn't think so many other people agreed with that. Did you ever see The Resurrected by Dan O'Bannon? I always found it strangely cozy based on the Lovecraft story. I could see that, especially it's got that nice period piece part. It's really dark too, and it's got some grotesque monsters in there. You know what is kind of cozy about it is it's got a very rainy atmosphere. Like it doesn't rain a lot in the movie, but anytime they're outside, it looks like it just finished raining. It's like always overcast. Feels very like October, November. So yeah, I like it. I like that movie. I did not put it on my recent cosmic horror list because I don't know, it doesn't have like a cosmic vibe to me, and the themes don't feel cosmic to me, even though it's based on the same story that The Haunted Palace is. But I feel like The Haunted Palace gets into the cosmic themes more. That's kind of how I feel about it. But I do really like The Resurrected. I wore a Halloween-themed Hawaiian shirt to San Diego Comic-Con this weekend and got endless compliments on it. Great. This shirt in my recent video, my Dark Fantasy video, it's gotten like more compliments than anything I've ever worn on this channel. Which is fun. Hallmark makes so many Christmas movies that some of them have to be good. It's like monkeys with typewriters. According to like my parents, some of them are good, but I don't know that I've ever seen a good one. I have seen good ones on Netflix and Amazon Prime. There have been some good ones. Because I actually do kind of look forward to watching a couple of fluffy Christmas rom-coms with my wife every December. Like it's kind of become a tradition and I enjoy it. I think all the ones we watched this last year were horrible, so it didn't really work out. But like Hot Frosty is kind of fun. It's funny. Like it is a funny, ridiculous movie that knows what it is. And like we had a good time with Hot Frosty. I can't remember the titles of any other ones that I've enjoyed, but yeah. Let's see. Hallmark Frankenstein miniseries was faithful to book. I've heard about that one, but I've not seen it. Hallmark did not used to be what it is today. Like they used to make things that were more like real movies, and they don't really do that anymore. But they have a version of Sleepy Hollow from 1999, not the Tim Burton one, that I do actually really like. So they have done some good spooky stuff like way back in the day. Curse of the Werewolf feels like it takes forever to get anywhere. Okay, you know what? That one's fair. I love it. To me, it's not boring because I think it's always interesting. Like everything that happens is intriguing to me. But it takes a really long time to get to the werewolf. And, I understand, especially be disappointing on a first watch because you watch it like, I'm here for this werewolf movie and the werewolf doesn't show up for like an hour at least. But to me, like I actually like all the stuff in the build up because I think, and it always looks unbelievably good. Like it's a beautiful, crazy, beautiful movie. But I get people not loving that one, but I do. I love Nemesis. It was awful, but it was awesome. That is kind of the deal with Nemesis, where like the script is so bad because it like doesn't really make any sense, from what I remember at least. But like the action is so cool, and it's got some really ambitious special effects. I've only seen it once though. I've never gone back to it, so I'm not an expert. Thanks for the positivity, nostalgic vibes. You've revived something in me for horror. Nice. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate that. I've heard good things about Radioactive Dreams, another Albert Pune movie. I've not seen it. It's another one that's really hard to get a hold of. It's like not on streaming, at least not that I've checked recently. But I do want to see it. I should probably wrap this up soon. Thank you guys so much for being here. We've had around like 230 people-ish for most of the whole thing. Ghost Pirate Like Tomorrow War 2. Yeah, that's one of those, you know, I think it's a direct-to-streaming movie starring Chris Pratt. And like, that's always going to get hate. That's just kind of the way the internet is now. But I watched it with bottom of the barrel expectations. And I was like, you know what? This is fun. Like, this is an enjoyable action sci-fi movie. I told you, like, a lot of cult film fans, they're above big blockbusters, but I still like big blockbusters. I still enjoy them. Let's see. Go Tomorrow War. We have Edge of Tomorrow at home. Yeah, kind of. But as an exploitation film fan, I am okay with We Have Blank at home. Like, I watch a lot of those. I'll never understand why people clap at the end of movies. You know, it's not for like the filmmakers, because everybody knows they're not there. I think it's just kind of like the community experience. It's just kind of everybody, like there's a vibe in the air that we all like went through something really cool. And it's like we all just kind of come together in a moment at the end. That's how I see the clapping. I acknowledge it's like, it seems arbitrary, but I think it's about the crowd. You know, it's not necessarily as much about, it's not about the filmmakers so much. Hallmark Christmas movies seem like they're made in the same town as the Stepford Wives. Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Let's see. I'm not a Hammer fan, but I still love listening to you talk about them. My next to-be list has got a Hammer movie on it, though. Couldn't resist. I love that I got Ghost Pirate to watch Twins of Evil in our collab video, and he loved it, and that was gratifying. That was great. Tomorrow War was a lot of fun. Only watched it once. Then everyone told me it was shite. I'm too American to say that, but can see it being a cult classic. I doubt it will be a cult classic. I just don't think, I don't know. Like, it's almost hard to imagine like direct to streaming movies becoming cult classics. I hope that happens. But everything's just so, you know, fast and disposable today. It's like movies just come and go so fast, which is kind of a bummer. I hope people like retain movies in that cult classic sort of way in the future, but I don't know. I love Edge of Tomorrow. I think Edge of Tomorrow is so good. And that was like my example of like, they used to make original blockbusters, then people didn't see them. And now they hardly ever do anymore, which is a shame. Like, studios won't take chances on blockbusters anymore. And I understand why, because people don't watch them. They only watch them if it's a franchise. But Edge of Tomorrow was fantastic. I heard they might be making a sequel, because that is one. I think Edge of Tomorrow kind of is a cult classic because it bombed at the box office, but it has a really good reputation. So it seems like it's got its base of fans. It kind of has hit that level. Damn, this stream is good. 2 hours already. Thank you. It's just me sitting here babbling, but I appreciate it. You have over 3,000 movies on Blu-ray and DVD. That's awesome. I might be coming up on like 2,000 at this point. Maybe not. When I did my complete Blu-ray collection video, I counted, it was around 1,100. That was a long time ago. Probably haven't hit 2,000. It might be around 1,500 by this point. Let's see. Been a very inclusive stream. Glad to talk to horror fans. Good. That's great. Yeah, I've seen a lot of you guys talking in the chat. I like that. So like at a film festival, you always clap. Yeah, true. Although a lot of times at the film festival, the filmmakers are there. Like when I went to Panic Fest last time, I saw the premiere for 3 movies, and 2 of them, the filmmakers were there in attendance. One of them was directed by the people that directed Captain Marvel, actually, and they did a Q&A. So I was like, wow, these people were worked on the Marvel universe. So that's interesting. That was what was that movie called? Man, when I live stream, especially for over 2 hours, my brain absolutely goes crazy. But anyway, the directors of Captain Marvel made like a crazy wacko cult anthology, and that played at Panic Fest, and it was not great. It had great parts. As an anthology, it was uneven, but I overall enjoyed it. Dude, I love your channel. Your ride's been inspiring. Congrats on your success. Thank you so much. Trek-based soul. Star Trek, perhaps? I like Star Trek too. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I don't get. They're never there. Ghost Pirate. Only one time I went to an Evil Dead 2 screen with Bruce Campbell there. Then you clap. Yeah, and like I said, like at the festivals, a lot of times they are there, but it depends. Christopher Nolan was not at my screening of The Odyssey, so we weren't exactly clapping because of him. Let's see. Someone said Taylor Swift's 1985. If somebody did, it would have been my wife. She is the Swiftie in the house. One of my favorite Hammer movies is The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll. That's a good movie. Yeah, it's that's one that you would think might not be as good because it takes like the monster angle, like the visual monster angle out of Mr. Hyde, because you don't get a visual monster because it gives you like Mr. Hyde looking very handsome, but it becomes like a actually pretty interesting piece of social commentary because of that. And the script is really good. It's a good movie. Yeah. Another Terrence Fisher banger. What do you think of those Shudder horror films? I like a lot of them. I haven't seen a lot of them. I don't like some of them. You know, it's uneven. Shudder mostly doesn't make movies. They acquire them and they throw them up on their service. I love that Shudder does that. I love that they're acquiring little indies and giving them an actual release. And Shudder is a place that horror fans pay attention to, so they check out those originals. And the whole system, I think, is great. And some of the movies I think have been fantastic. I think there's the bigger ones, like there's Revenge. I think Mandy is technically one as well, and Mandy is awesome. But as far as like the ones that didn't really get a theatrical release that just went on the streaming service, I don't think got a theatrical release, at least. I think my favorites are The Mortuary Collection and A Wounded Fawn. I love those movies. Influencer is really good. Birth Rebirth is a good one that I watched fairly recently. I think that's a Shudder one. So yeah, I like a lot of them, but I certainly haven't seen them all by any means. No, I heard about it. I didn't like review it because I didn't get it. I already own a lot of those movies in different ways, and it's a really expensive box set, and I don't spend big money on physical media these days. But it looked really, really cool, and I'm glad that they put it out. If they sent it to me for review, I would have been happy to do it, but they didn't, and I didn't think to ask. Let's see. Severin released Shocking Dark, baby. They did. That's like kind of an OG Severin. They put that out a long time ago. Shocking Dark, Bruno Mattei's one-to-one ripoff of Aliens that was originally released as Terminator 2. It is that's a fun bad movie. That's an enjoyable, like, I actually one-to-one ripoffs, like especially from that time, they're kind of interesting to watch because it's interesting to watch like them just like take all these moments and do them in their own weird way. Like another one that I watched like that was Terror Vision put out in, I think it was from Indonesia. I could be getting the country wrong, but I think it's an Indonesian ripoff of Friday the 13th. And it's not for the whole runtime, but especially the third act is like one-to-one Friday the 13th. It's just this weird thing that's actually pretty entertaining to see. Eyes of Fire, they did release in a standalone, but they also put it out in that All the Haunts BR's folk horror box set. That's my favorite Severin anything. I think that's my favorite thing I've ever gotten from Severin. That box set gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Would you ever consider a Discord group? Would be a great way to get and give recommendations. People have thrown it out there. To me, the idea of it sounds very overwhelming. Like I've never ran. I do have a very small Discord with like some friends that I'm like a co-moderator on, but I hardly have to do anything for that. But it seems like it would take a bit of manpower to moderate it. I don't know who I would get to moderate it because I couldn't keep up with that on my own. Like I just don't have the time in the day. So I don't know. It sounds like a lift that I'm not sure I want to take on, but it probably would be fun. It'd probably lead to me being on my phone even more than I already am. So that's a problem. I would consider it, but I think I would have to have some help. Cozy horror movies are comfort viewing for me. Me too. Absolutely. Let's see. I agree. I think Hokum is both cozy and scary, so it's like a perfect mix for me. My ultimate cozy horror film is Dracula AD 1972. I get it. I wish I agreed. That's actually one of my least favorite Hammer movies, unfortunately, which is kind of a hot take because a lot of people love that movie. Slow burn horror is Vampire Circus, but wait, it picks up third act trap. Dude, I mean, maybe it's got some slow burn parts, but like the first act is crazy. Like it is like a vampire movie on steroids for like 10 minutes. And yeah, the last act is crazy. Maybe it's got some slower stuff in the middle. I don't know. I don't know if I do find that to be very slow. Knocking over stuff. Yeah, Hokum is so good. Hokum is a rare modern movie that I've not really gotten any negative feedback on in the comments. Like generally, like, and it makes sense. Like my audience tends to be more critical of modern stuff. And I think it's because I just attract an audience that likes older stuff because that's more what I talk about. But Hokum is one everybody seems to like. I don't know if I've gotten any negative comments about it. So that's been cool. Oh no. I don't know if I'm going to read that one out loud because maybe it's kind of spoilery, but that's a little bit disappointing to me. We'll see how that goes. What are your thoughts on Christopher Nolan expressing interest in directing a horror movie? Of course, I would be very interested to see it. I am not jumping up and down for a Christopher Nolan horror film like a lot of people are. Because as much as I really liked The Odyssey, like the horror elements did not blow me away as much as a lot of other people. I thought the zombie ghost sequence was fantastic. And I thought that was the best version of it. The Cyclops looks really cool. And I love that they did it practically, which I didn't know going in. And now I know that. And I think that's amazing, mostly practically. But my problem with the Cyclops sequence is I could not understand the dialogue and much of it. And I was like, man, I wish I had subtitles. That could be a problem with Christopher Nolan movies. So I had to like turn to my buddy, like, what's the objective here? Okay. He understood them a little bit more. Body horror scene is good. I do feel like people are overblowing the body horror scene a little bit because like it's good, but it is pretty standard body horror stuff. So if you watch your average body horror movie, you're going to kind of expect that. You know, it's not reinventing the wheel by any means. And the thing is, like, Christopher Nolan is so good at what he does, like these big epic movies, that I'm almost like, do I want to take him away from that kind of thing to do a horror movie? And I don't know if he would be as good as that at that. But I have thought about it in the past, not even just from the Odyssey, because like there are some scary stuff, and there is some scary stuff in Batman Begins that with the Scarecrow that is strong. The Prestige has got kind of a gothic vibe to it. So you can almost look at that. So I think he would probably do a good job. Like, you know, Christopher Nolan's probably not going to make a bad movie, although there are some movies of his I don't really like. I think he would probably do a good job, but I'm not sure, like, would he do a good enough job to like justify not doing what he's better at? I don't know. We'll see, but I will absolutely watch it. Apparently Inception started as a horror movie idea when he pitched it to WB, so I think he's got it in him. Inception is by far my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. Like, I can't imagine Inception ever getting replaced. Like, man, that movie is insanely good. 5 stars. Hallmark has a lot of horror actors in them. I'm telling you, because like low budget horror, low budget Hallmark Christmas movies, they're both exploitation movies, so they're gonna get similar people. Cabin in the Woods, is this a good movie in your opinion? Yes, although I didn't think so when I first saw it. When I first saw it in theaters, I actually didn't really like it that much, but my dad also didn't like it, and I think maybe that kind of influenced me a little bit because I would still be a teenager back then. But I rewatched it this year and I loved it. I've watched it twice this year because I watched it leading up to my Cabin in the Woods video that I did, which was such a fun video. I really enjoyed making that. And then I watched it projected outside at my birthday party. I did a birthday party for some friends and we did like a barbecue and stuff. This was in June. And then after the sun went down, I set up the projector and we watched Cabin in the Woods. Oh, my cat. He's getting on my cords, buddy. I'm going to put you down. Okay. And I set up the projector and we watched Cabin in the Woods outside, and it was super fun. And I was like, I just watched this movie and I'm still just really enjoying watching it a second time. Have seen the trailer for Other Mommy, have not seen the trailer for Ebenezer yet. I still am like, my mind is blown that that's a movie that's happening. Like Ty West is doing that. That's so strange. But I love A Christmas Carol. It's a perfect story, so I'm interested in it. I'm the kind of person where like I'm not anti-trailers because I think trailers serve a real purpose. They like tell you about the movie. They get you interested in a movie you wouldn't normally be interested in. So like, I think when people are anti-trailers, I'm like, you're kind of cutting yourself off from learning about movies you wouldn't have known about otherwise. But I will often not seek out trailers if I already know I'm interested in the movie. So like, I never sought out a trailer for Resident Evil because I'm just like, it's Zach Kreger. So like, I will be there. Like, there's just no chance I won't be. And I only saw the trailer for Resident Evil because they showed it to me in theaters. And that's usually how I watch trailers. And Ebenezer is like, yes, I'm interested in that movie kind of regardless. Because of who's interested, because of it's Ty West, and it's that classic story. Not so much because it's Johnny Depp, because Johnny Depp has a really bad track record with movies, but we'll see how that goes. I think he could be a good Scrooge. I think his kind of vibe that works. I was wondering what your thoughts are on Obsession. It's my favorite horror movie of the year so far. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. I love Obsession. I thought it was an insane nightmare experience, like so good. I've reviewed it a couple of times on the channel so far and I loved it. Let's see. My girlfriend bought me most of the Amicus anthology movies. She started getting them after watching your ranking video. Sweet. That's great. Love those movies. I appreciate Curse of the Werewolf much more as an adult than I did as a kid. I agree. Like, same here. And like, another reason for that is like, it's very, like, it's not like explicit. It doesn't have nudity, but it's very sexually charged. And that's a thing that like, I didn't get / also made me a little uncomfortable as a kid, but then watching as an adult, you know, I can appreciate that. So I feel like it is kind of more of a horror movie for adults. Whereas when I was a kid, I loved Horror of Dracula. And that's when you can watch at any age. And I was just obsessed with that movie. Ooh, I love you mentioned Burnt Offerings in one of your videos. My mom watched it with me a lot growing up. I feel it's very underrated. Yeah, good movie. That's great. I've actually never seen Bad Taste, even though I love, like I love Dead Alive, but I've never seen that one. I need to. Let's see. Old European folklore does state werewolves were born of psychological trauma and distress, not necessarily a wolf bite. Yeah, I do know the wolf bite stuff came later. And like a lot of our classic werewolf mythology today kind of came from the Wolfman. Like the Wolfman did create quite a bit, like the Silver Bullet and stuff like that. Like werewolf mythology developed very slowly in a lot of different ways. And the Wolfman like solidified a lot of it, like very, very effectively. Yeah. Ever seen the 1936 Boris Karloff movie, The Walking Dead? I found it bizarre but entertaining movie. I liked it. I have reviewed it. I can't remember what video it was in, but yeah, I like that movie. It is like almost more drama than horror, but it's like horror enough. But it's very sad and very tragic. But it's very effective at doing that. Good. Which Omen movie is your favorite? The original, but I've only seen the first two. I've actually never seen the third one with Sam Neill, so I especially need to now that he's no longer with us, sadly. But the first Omen is perfect. It's like a 5-star movie. I can't imagine it would ever be replaced. Oh, and I've seen the first Omen. I actually forgot about that one, the latest one. Yeah, I've seen the first Omen, which still definitely like the original the best. The MCU irreparably damaged the box office formula. I don't think big budget films will ever be the same. Horror is the only outlier that has managed to perform better despite the shift. I agree. Yeah, like I think, you know, people tell me a lot that like we're living in a really bad time for movies and movies are so bad right now. I think there's a good argument for that for every genre except horror. Horror like has just retained an audience that it's just never lost. It's never lost it throughout film history, except like it fell off a little bit in the early 90s, but Not even that bad. And horror is in an amazing place, but original action movies, blockbusters, dramas, rom-coms, they still make all these. They are still made, but not at the scale they used to be by far, like not as much anymore. And it's almost like when a new big rom-com comes out, like it's a big deal. Like there's a new one coming out called, oh my gosh, we should talk about this. There's a new rom-com coming out called, I think it's called One Night Only. I've seen a lot of advertising for it. So you probably have too. Like they are pushing that movie like crazy. It comes to theaters a couple weeks. That movie has an insane premise. I can't even believe this movie is real. If you haven't seen the trailer, let me tell you, this is a rom-com. And by the way the movie looks, feels very traditional 90s style rom-com. But the premise is it takes place in a world where premarital sex is only legal one night a year. So it's like the sex purge. And every other night of the year, it's illegal to have premarital sex. And I'm just like, if that were true, that would be a dystopia. Like the world would not look the same. And the world in this trailer looks normal. It looks like a 90s rom-com. And I'm just like, for one thing, like everybody would be dressed extremely conservatively. It would be a Puritan kind of society. Everything would be hyper religious. It would not look like the world. And like you would have a very heavy police presence. There would be like, it would not look like the normal world. And I'm just like, what is this? And then I'm thinking like the trailer is treating it like a normal rom-com. But I'm like, are they going to lead like some kind of political revolution by the end of it? Or by the end of the movie, it's just like, yeah, the world is fine like this with the government literally enforcing that. Like, how do you even enforce that would be my next question. It's so insane. I can't believe it's a real movie, but it is coming out in like a couple of weeks. I have to scroll down to see if anybody else has seen this trailer. And it's just like, what is this? Okay, I've seen One Night Only spoken about, advertised as The Purge, as a rom-com. So it's using horror as a jumping off point almost. Yeah, it is basically that. The Sex Purge sounds like its own movie. It is. That's what it is. Everybody's commenting that. Oh, it's so crazy. Like, I feel like I'm going insane when I see the trailer. I'm just like, what is this movie? Anyway, what do you think about them remaking Possession? Not cool in my opinion. Mia Goth would have been a good lead. I am on board with it. And the reason I'm on board with it is because of the director. Like when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't need that. Why would we need it? Like, how could it possibly be even near as interesting as the original Possession? Like the original Possession, like the reason it's so good is just because it's got in like a crazy madman director who just made this hyper, like just, I'm losing like the ability of the English language at this point. I'm going like 3 hours. It's so insane. And like, how can you remake that? But it's by the director of the Smile movies. And I thought Smile 2 was unbelievably well directed. Like it's not always that I watch a good horror movie and I'm just like, that director did an unbelievable job putting that movie together. But that is kind of how I felt about Smile 2. So whatever he wants to do, like I'm bored. Like I feel like he could actually do it. Isn't Robert Pattinson going to be in it? I can't remember who the female lead is, but I think you're just going to have Pattinson, which is great. Okay. They would have 1 billion babies born in one day, right? Like, how would this logistically work? That's insane. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I was kind of curious if anybody else had anything to say about that movie. Nobody really does. I'm the only one that thinks that's crazy. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I watched a new movie the other night called The Drama with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. It was really good, intense. Yeah, my wife and I actually saw that on a date night. And I haven't had like a video where it made sense to talk about it, so I haven't. But I liked it. I thought it was quite interesting. I thought that movie had an amazing trailer. Like it was a trailer that got me so intrigued because it like teases that they're all talking about what's the worst thing you've ever done. And it communicates that Zendaya gave her answer but he doesn't tell you what the answer is. And everybody like is so freaked out. And I watched that trailer just like, oh, I have to see this movie. Like I have to see what she says. And what she said did not disappoint. It was very interesting. And the way the movie explored that subject, very thought provoking. It was good. I liked it. Very great performances in that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Margaret Qualley. And that's great. I think actually I probably prefer that to Mia Goth. I think Margaret Qualley is probably a better actor. Yeah, those leads, that director, they could actually do it. Like normally I would say don't remake that movie, but they could do it and I'm into it. Oh, let's see. Do you have a hot take about a movie that's almost universally blood, but you really don't care for? I kind of talked about it. Terrified, the Argentinian movie. People love that movie, and I don't. And Ken Russell's Gothic is kind of one. Oh, let's see. See, people are saying Possession is impossible to remake. Maybe, but I think they've got. It's going to have to be really different, right? I don't think he's going to like try to make that movie again. Like, I think it's going to be a very different take, but that team, I think, could pull it off. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much, Jonas, for the super chat. $5. It's my favorite YouTube channel. Also, Resident Evil trailer makes it look like a good time. Yep, looking forward to it. Thank you so much for the kind words. And we got Fachi in here right as I'm about to log off. So thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you. And yep, I'm gonna log off. This is my longest live stream ever, but you guys made it so fun that I just kept going and forgot to stop. So thank you so much. I will have a new video up on Wednesday. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.